Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings lost a heartbreaker last night to the Warriors 102-101. Domantas Sabonis was the lead scorer with De'Aaron Fox out with a sprained ankle. He had 23 points to go along with 11 rebounds and 8 assists. Kings are now going on the road. They will be in Houston Saturday night when they take on the Houston Rockets. You can listen to Saturday's Kings-Rockets game right here on Sactown Sports. Major League Baseball season came to an end yesterday when the Texas Rangers shut out the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-0 to win their first World Series. Rangers shortstop Corey Seager was named the World Series MVP and became the first player in Major League history to win a World Series MVP in both leagues. His first came in 2020 when he was a member of the Dodgers. Those are your headlines. Now let's get started with the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with
the defensive intensity was amazing. They did everything they could but win. It was an entertaining game. It was a close game. I'm proud of them. If they play like that, they're going to win 50-plus games this year. Like, those are all things I truly believe. But I'm so damn tired of, like, well, they did the thing, and then, it was close. And then, and then it's not Curry. Curry has, whether it's an off night because of him or because of us or a combination of both. And what happens? Klay steps up and hits shot. They win.
Can I say one thing that might make you feel better?
90,000 things.
James Harden's not on the team.
That's true. James Harden is not on the team.
Makes you feel better, doesn't it?
It does. We would have lost by 30 last night. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. It is a Thursday program, November 2nd. And, Colby Jones looked good. You just knew. You knew it was coming. You knew it was you knew it was coming. And then I didn't miss this either, but I spend so much time. I use social media as kind of a running commentary with my brain. And I tell you, I also just didn't miss the whole, after a game, everyone's yelling at everybody and, well, we don't need that negative talk. I honestly, within the space of a minute last night, was told to stop being a Debbie Downer and stop being negative. And also, there's no moral victory. Stop being a cheerleader. Don't be a shell. It's just, I just want to punch everyone right in the face.
And it probably would have been so out of bounds that Klay missed. Right?
So, yeah.
And just the other way. Like, just
yes.
So great, so good.
Yes.
This team's winning the whole thing. They're never losing again.
Right.
Take that, Warriors. And you're like, okay.
Oh, I had my tweet ready to go when the Kings win.
Yeah.
What was it going to be?
I can't tell you now.
Yeah,
They didn't win.
Yeah,
Gotta
save
save it
that.
for the next one.
Yeah.
I will say that the thing that really made me upset last night was not even the loss. I knew that they weren't going to get a score with 0.2 seconds, but in like the KHGK group chat with all the producers, Kyle Ledbetter decided to send a meme about the Kings' loss before the game was over on my end. So I'm like, so they're about to take the ball out of bounds. I'm like, oh, they don't get it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Because he hears that he was board opping and he knew.
Yeah.
Great work, Kyle.
Kyle's just kind of a little baby bull in the china shop, ain't he? He just kind of Kyle's on through and craps himself a couple times.
He didn't do it to be mean.
I know.
And
I
he
know.
didn't do it to ruin anything.
Kyle's
which somehow makes it worse. I would
Right.
actually appreciate it if he was trying to rub it in, if he was a Warriors fan.
Kyle's intentions are always good. The outcome is just not always there too. And the good news is we don't face the Warriors until the 28th.
Yeah. It's a long time until we see them again.
Oh, but that one's going to count.
Yeah.
That is part of the
Cup.
in-season tournament.
Yes. And of course they're in the Kings grouping too.
Of
right?
course they are.
Yeah.
That's going to be a home game on TNT. When do we face them again after that? The next week? Christ.
Then only one more to go.
Yeah.
So the playoffs again.
Then January.
No, they're going to meet in the finals
Somehow.
of the Cup.
Oh.
Back on the January 20th.
I guess that can't happen.
Right.
So 2 months later, basically, less than 2 months after that, they'll play their fourth and final game of the regular season on TNT. I would like to just not get swept by them. That's a good start. It'd be nice to just not get swept by them. I'm just so just that Klay Thompson did the too small thing and Curry with his nights. And
Did he night?
no, I'm saying like if
Yeah.
it's not Curry doing the night, it's Klay doing the too small thing, and it's just. And I know there's a big picture. There's a big, of course there is. Kings are a much better team. There is no reason why they should not go into Oklahoma City with a healthy, hopefully De'Aaron Fox, or should I say, play Oklahoma City here a week from Friday, a week from tomorrow, 5-2, which would be fine. Beat Houston twice, beat Portland. Those are two of the worst teams in the sport. I'm not saying that's a given. They're NBA teams, but I'll tell you this: if they play like they did last night, they'll win each game by about 20, I believe. There were a lot of positives to pull out of the individual play. It's just something that happens late in the game, and it gets frenetic. The pace was crazy, and the intensity was stepped up. It's one of the better defensive battles I've seen the Kings be a part of in a long time.
Yeah. I actually looked it up when I think it was, I don't know, maybe 83. I don't know. There wasn't maybe 6-7 minutes left. I went, wait, when was the last Kings game that both teams were under 100? And it was, I think what I found was 2021. Kings and Dallas played a game that was below 100. It was actually Chimezie Metu's buzzer beater to beat the Mavericks.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's so rare. And
blast.
of these two teams, it was like, all right, these two teams are two of the best offenses in the league. And it just came down to an intense finish. And unfortunately, the Kings were on the wrong end again.
Yeah. Draymond Green starting out hitting his first 2 threes.
Yeah.
That's where you kind of went, okay. I mean, if you'd have told me that Steph Curry would have had 21 points on 7 of 15 shooting and the Warriors would have scored 102 points on the night, I said, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, we beat them by 16. Like, that's great. But they still won. And I don't want to hear the whole, I got plenty of, Domantas Sabonis needs to learn his free throws. He missed all 5 of the Kings missed free throws. He was 7 of 12. It's not ideal.
It wasn't hideous. It's just when you lose by 1, you're going to rack up and count all of the things that you missed out on.
Yeah. I mean, when a guy is 23, 11, and 8.
Yeah.
And also hit the shot to go ahead.
Right. Like,
and actually, when he banked it in, I'm like, wow, this might be their night.
That's honestly that was the first time I allowed myself to go, oh my God, this could this? And then like the little voice, I was like, could this be? And then very quickly, the other voice in my head just curb stomped the other, just what are you thinking, stupid, and beat it up. But for like a split second,
Yeah.
I thought maybe this could be it. But you're also, DeMontis, you're talking what, 73% career shooter from the line. Without DeMontis Sabonis in there, the Kings have absolutely no chance. I actually thought, again, we'll have a lot of in a vacuum conversations about last night's game. In a vacuum. I don't know if he completely exercised the demons, but he was on his way to. He was aggressive. He was down on the block. He was really bullying Kevon Looney at times. They didn't have an answer for him at all, and he looked for the contact and he looked for the aggression.
Well, and it also felt like, all right, is this the poetic finish that he's going to hit the game winner?
Yes.
And then
yes, it should have been.
Yeah,
it should have been. And then
Klay Thompson happened.
Then Klay Thompson happened.
Yeah.
I can't remember the game situation. They did not have a foul to give, correct?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so either. I was wondering that late. Like, well, should we have stopped down the play?
Right.
Obviously that wasn't going to work. 37 minutes, by the way, for Sabonis. Keegan Murray also was 4 of 15 last night.
0 for 7 or 8 from 3?
0 for 7. Yeah. Did not really show up offensively till the second half, but I thought played fantastically defensively for much of the night, as did Davion Mitchell. Davion, it's not going to look crazy in the on the score sheet, 13 and 4, but he did have 3 steals. He did hit over 50% of his shots. And I thought his defense, he's just so fun to watch on defense. Mm-hmm. He's absolutely so fun. Excuse me, to watch on defense. And I know there's a lot of talk about the refs, and I do think the refs did maybe miss a couple of calls late that went against the Kings, but I was fine with the refs. Look, also they were calling a couple of fouls early on, especially in favor of Domantas Sabonis. They called one on Looney. And it's like Domantas just established down low and gave him the shoulder, knocked him about a foot back, and then just kind of wrapped around Looney's body to go to the basket. And they called that foul on Looney, and that should have been a play on. And bottom line is Kings shot 23 free throws to the Warriors 15 last night on the road. Part of that was they were a very aggressive team down low. But again, you can point to bad calls, and they happen to be bad calls late in the game. And I have as much fun as anyone poking at the refs, but I can't look at the refs last night.
Not last night.
Not last night. All right. We actually talked sports in that first set. I couldn't.
I don't think you're okay.
Nah, I'll get my pep. We got a big show today.
We do?
We do really have a big show today. Kelly Brothers is going to be with us at 7:27. Samuel Amick will join us at 8 o'clock. We'll ask why he's going after training staffs in his articles. We'll get to that. Look, it is as it always is, everybody. If you want to vent, if you want to, it's a safe space. And if you want to yell and scream, if you want to vent, or if even if you want to be positive, that's fine. No worries. I'm not here to cheer you up. I'm not here to depress you. Just here to be a bunch of fans and talk about the Kings. So we'll take a break. But before that, I want to at least try to put a smile on your face by telling you about $9,000 I can get you just by directing you to my friends at American Energy. Hello. Radio's Carmichael Dave here to tell you about winter. It's coming. Old man winter. On the way. Now we know we don't have, crazy winter out here. It's not all snowy and weird. At least not, for the most part where we live. Maybe you're getting us in the foothills. But it does still get cold. And you still do need a heater. Now, all summer long, your filters have been, filtering out pollen and God knows what. That could be a real thing, where it flies around and, gives you the sniffles. At the very least, I'm asking you just to have American Energy come out and change your filters, do a little tune-up, check in on your heater, on your air conditioner for next summer, and feel good about that. It'll save you a bit of money, too. But what you should be doing is getting a brand new, nice, modern home comfort system that'll help shield you from those rising PG&E bills. And you can also get up to $9,000 in rebates, as I said. And those rebates range from SMUD rebates to rebates from American Energy to state rebates. Guess what? American Energy will do all the paperwork for you. They will. And that makes that price a heck of a lot better. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau, AmericanEnergyAir.com. Or give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com, making the uncomfortable comfortable. 30-second break. We'll lead it off next.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Let's do it.
Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Screen from Sabonis. Monk spins away, loses the ball, cracks it down. He drives, he kicks to Sabonis. 20-foot set shot. He banks it in. Somehow it found the net. It's 101-100. 11 seconds to go. Curry at the midcourt line on the right side on a double-team blitz. Finds Draymond Green. Pivots. Throws to Thompson. Thompson rocks. Fires. 18-footer. Score the basket. 0.2 of a second to go. It's not Curry. It's the other Splash Brother. It's Klay Thompson, who may have just stroked a game winner.
Well, G-Man, he did. I think G-Man knew that. 0.2 seconds. Although replays show the ball went through the net with 0.4 left. Maybe take a look.
Yeah, take a look, refs.
Little difference between 0.4 and 0.2. Not that it would have necessarily made a difference. Mike Brown did call a couple timeouts to draw up a play, but in the end, that's just you're talking miracle time to make that go through. Kings lose. Kings lose to the Warriors again. No De'Aaron Fox. Hey, they covered the spread. They covered
so
the
there's
spread.
that.
There's that for some people. But as we talked about, Jason, in the last segment, as we will talk about quite a bit throughout the show, I think it's okay to be upset and sad. But also this was a good performance.
Yeah, I think we also have talked about, I think some have debated whether or not this is a rivalry. I think the way you're feeling, I think the way I'm feeling, I think the way a lot of Kings fans are feeling, it's a rivalry.
Yeah.
It may not be on the Warriors side. I don't know. I can't speak for them. But the Kings are going to lose, 30, 40, 50 times? I don't know how many times this year. This one I can tell bothered a lot of people.
Yes.
So they want to beat the Warriors. There's a rivalry there. It's official. It back in the day when you lost to the Lakers, it just stunk. So I think there's something there. I think there's been there, and it's officially a rivalry.
Maybe it's recency bias. I was really doing a lot of thinking about this last night. Might be worse than the Lakers.
Could be.
Might actually be worse.
Yes.
And that seems sacrilege to say.
Can I add to it?
Yeah, please.
I think it's worse because social media is a bigger thing now.
That might be it.
That's 1,000,000,000% correct. And also, we don't have the built-in, we hate Southern California thing. We just hate the Warriors because they're stupid Warriors. And we do have the big brother, little brother thing going on. But they're just all right there. And as much as there's a bunch of Laker fans up here, there's Warrior fans everywhere. Because you have their stupid front-running parents, like at schools, that dress their kids in Curry crap with the tags still on it and send them to school because their kids aren't going to learn, adversity or character building. Because these parents just want to be there. If you don't have roots in the Bay Area and you're throwing Warriors gear on your kids and sending them out, I just want to say you're a bad parent. Just want to throw that out there. You're actually a bad parent.
Look at the book.
Look at the book. It's in the book. You're a bad parent, and you're hurting your child. Teach them how to build character.
Yeah, the right way.
The right way. My poor ass kid has to go to school on time in his Jimmer Fredette beat up jersey, and you know what? He likes it.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Taught him how to be a man.
Be a man. Number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
In their 63rd season. It's the Texas Rangers win the World Series. So long to heartbreak. Hello, World Series for the Texas Rangers, champions in 2023.
Did you hear that? That's my guy.
I know.
That was my guy.
Was it high?
It was right there.
Yeah. Nobody argued.
I was like, I've never experienced that before. So I was so nervous for my dude behind the plate. And the game was still on. Bottom of the ninth, though, when I think it was the second batter, and he took a foul ball right to you could hear him go, and I was so nervous. Like, part of me was like, just be like a ground ball or fly. Like, don't leave it on my guy to make the call. And there was one he could have called. It was a little low and inside. But in the end, high strike, but no arguments. And there it was. And the Rangers and Bruce Bochy, whose team has not lost since Creed announced their comeback tour. They are the champions of the world. And he brings the first title to San Francisco, does it 3 times. And then to the day, I want to say, was it to the day of the first one, I think, 13 years later?
Oh, wow.
He brings the first one to the Rangers. Congratulations to Texas. Good for them. It's a good story. And now you've just got the Rays, the Rockies, the Brewers.
Brewers have one.
Do the Brewers have one?
Oh, wait, no, maybe they don't.
I don't think they do. The Brewers, the Mariners, and the Padres. I think that's the club.
Yeah.
The Rangers wave goodbye. We've got a ring now.
Yep. They did it.
They did.
Look at us.
They did it, and that's going to come up and safer out quite a bit, obviously, in the next segment. But congratulations to Boch, who gets himself yet another ring to
our final safer out, our final day to recap streaking.
Oh, that's right. That's it. And then it's over.
Then it's on to football and basketball.
Until
Shohei
April.
signs.
And Shohei signs and the hot stove meetings and blah, blah, blah. Cut number 3.
Cut number 3.
When my time on earth is gone and my activities here are past, I want they bury me upside down and my critics can kiss my
everybody's going to have the disclaimer today. I'll say it once. Everybody's going to have to, going to throw out the disclaimer of, despite his faults. And, look, Bobby had some faults. He stepped in it quite a few times, said some things that I'm not talking about stuff like that. That's funny. I'm talking about he said and did a couple of things that are definitely not great. Also an icon, a legend, somebody beloved by so many of those who played for him, and a very unique, maybe the most unique personality we've ever seen on the college basketball sideline. He passes away yesterday at 83.
Pretty good chair tosser.
Very good chair tosser. We'll play audio later of his scouting report of a kid who played for him. This is before the NBA draft. There's a young kid named Mike Jordan, and what Bobby thought about his game. He was the state of Indiana. There is we can joke around all we want. There's no more basketball crazed state historically than Indiana. That's just, it's like the emotional birthplace, if you will, of basketball. And Bobby Knight encapsulated all of that with his good, his bad. 83 years old as we watch a lot of these, and I guess every generation goes through this, but you just watch these icons just get knocked off. It was a full life, 83. Yeah. Steve Alford, who was it? It was Greg Doyle of CBS Sports. Actually had a really, if you get a chance, look it up. Had a really good bunch of quotes from Steve, former player for Bobby. Who said, I can't get through a phone call here, so I'm not going to pick the phone up, but I'll text you some things. And just a story about how he got recruited, how Bobby was just absolutely in his ear for much of the 4 years, but made him a better man, a better player, according to Steve Alford, and they maintained a friendship to the day. He'd go visit Bobby to get some advice, and they'd go out into the duck blind and shoot ducks. And, Bobby was obviously a little bit frail his last couple of years, but a life lived, that is for sure. And one of the most quotable sports figures we'll ever see.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Bobby, and thoughts with the Knight family. We'll take a break. When we come back, the final safe or out, Bruce Bochy, the Rangers, and the ratings. if you will. We'll wrap up the baseball season next.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox. The breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We'll get off to a cool start for this Thursday morning under hazy sunshine and temps in the 40s. Recovering nicely this afternoon under mostly sunny skies, highs in the mid-70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let us fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $97. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I had terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville.
iPhone 15 Pro on Verizon.
This holiday, trade in any iPhone in any condition for the new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium, Apple TV 4K, and 6 months of Apple One. All on us with Unlimited Ultimate. Go to your local Verizon store now. 6 months of Apple One, then $10 per month. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line on Unlimited Ultimate plan required. Less $1,000 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR. Apple TV 4K and Apple One offers require eligible phone purchase with activation on Unlimited Ultimate. Additional terms and conditions apply. Visit Verizon.com for details.
O'Reilly. Protect your engine better with Syntec full synthetic high mileage motor oil. Only at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec high mileage is formulated for today's engines with over 75,000 miles. Now get 5 quarts of Syntec high mileage and a MicroGuard Select oil filter for just $34.99. Limits apply. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Most people know that the term birdie in golf refers to a score of 1 under par, but where did the term originate? According to Scottish Golf History website, it comes from the early 20th century American slang term bird, which meant anything excellent. While a 1911 edition of Maclean magazine described a golf shot as bird straight down the course about 215 yards, the country club in Atlantic City lays claim to the first use of the word birdie. In 1898, A.B. Smith was playing the par 4 second hole when his second shot went within inches of the hole. That was a bird of a shot, he said, and claimed he should get double money if he scored 1 under par. He did indeed hold his putt, and the group thereafter referred to such a score as a birdie. In 1913, acclaimed writer Bernard Darwin wrote in the September issue of Country Life of his visit to America. He explained that it takes a day or two for the English onlooker to understand that a birdie is a hole done in a stroke under par. And now you know. That's Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
This year, Staples will not be celebrating the holidays. Instead, we're celebrating the holiday deals with amazing savings for the holiday season. Save 50% on custom holiday cards, save 50% on custom invitations, and save 50% on custom photo gifts like mugs and calendars. During Staples holiday deals, it's not about the ho, ho, ho. It's about saving dough, dough, dough. Save 50% on custom cards, invitations, and photo gifts today at Staples. Ends 12/16. Visit staples.com/print for more details.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Alod with your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings lost a heartbreaker last night to the Warriors, 102-101. Domantas Sabonis was the lead scorer for the Kings with De'Aaron Fox out with a sprained ankle. He had 23 points to go along with 11 rebounds and 8 assists. Kings are now going on the road where they will be in Houston to take on the Rockets on Saturday. You can listen to Saturday's game right here on Sactown Sports. Major League Baseball season came to an end yesterday when the Texas Rangers shut out the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-0 to win their first World Series. Rangers shortstop Corey Seager was named the World Series MVP and became the first player in Major League history to win a World Series MVP in both leagues. His first came in 2020 when he was a member of the Dodgers. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. And now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
I was just talking to the country people.
The country people.
105.1 Kansas. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Dork. See if I can get a pool together. I know this isn't going to work, but I'm thinking of hitting up our boss today. For Don't you think our work would be easier? Don't you think we deserve an automatic espresso machine? Where you press the button and it'll make like a macchiato or a latte.
Sure.
Right? Like, I feel like that would improve morale.
Jason's not, you're not a real big
You're not a
coffee
real
guy, right?
coffee guy.
I'm a fake one.
Yeah. Nailed our big boss on that so hard in front of witnesses. I feel like I watched one of those. It was a really good, like, hype video. I don't know how else to describe it for this coffee machine.
A hype video.
Well, like, they do
this
like,
is how you buy these gadgets and use them 4 times.
It is. And the algorithms know me. Algorithm knows me.
Our algorithms got you.
He does, and it came up on my Facebook, and it was like, it's like a little 2-minute video. It's a machine by Philips,
and you're hyped.
I am, because really, I look at the people in there, and they're all so happy, and I just imagine getting fresh, nice, like Starbucks style, whatever coffee, whatever your coffee place is, from the comfort of your own home or office.
Mm-hmm.
You just press the button and it grinds the beans and makes the drink and froths the milk, and you take it.
I would like that because it smells really good.
It does. Yeah. And you can make hot chocolates.
Oh,
if you want.
Yeah, I want.
Oh, there's like 12 different ones.
Yeah.
I feel like I wonder if I can get it. The problem is, and Pat brought it up, if we did do something like that, it would 100% go downstairs.
Oh, yeah. But the advantage of that is, at least for us in the morning and the country people, we can be first to use it every day.
Yeah, nobody's here, and then they're going to have to clean it.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, that'll happen.
That's a great point. I'll let you know how that turns out when I pitch them on it. I'll say, look, pay for half, we'll pay for the other half.
You know who would utilize it?
Wee's doing a lot of work there.
Who?
Wee is doing a lot of work.
I know.
Chris would utilize it a lot.
Verlad?
Chris
no, I'm a coffee guy.
Oh, you are?
Well, wouldn't it make coffee?
Yeah, I don't make regular. Wait, you don't like you just like, I like my black coffee?
Yeah, I'm like a 60s comedian.
Really? You don't?
I like my coffee black, my whiskey neat.
Right, yes.
Was there a third one?
Yeah, but I can't say it on the air.
Oh, okay. Oh, the 60s comedian.
Yep. Question 1, please. Safe or out?
Bruce Bochy wins another title with another team.
Yeah.
Safer out. Bochy was already a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of, this solidifies him as a Hall of Famer, which I guess technically it does, but I think he was a Hall of Famer already.
Absolutely.
Like 100% was a Hall of Famer. 3 titles. You go back, he was in the Hall of Good playing career. He wasn't a Hall of Famer,
no,
but he was a Hall of Gooder.
I would say most managers are Hall of Gooders.
100% right. You're 100% correct. In fact, there's been a lot of think pieces on this, and I couldn't agree with them more. And we see this in most sports, where the really good Hall of Fame players generally don't make good coaches or managers. It's the catchers, the pitchers, the guys that had to kind of be managers on the field, if you will. And that weren't that great. That had to do it with their brains more than their, innate athletic talent. They had to just grind because they weren't as good.
Yeah, this was an add-on. He didn't need this at all, but it's great for him. It adds to the resume. Probably puts him up even into the higher echelons of great manager. Like, he's already there. But now is it like, and it's another argument, another carrot for him.
Well, I think now it's like, okay, where is he on the list of managers all time?
Yeah.
And is he sniffing around the top 10?
Right.
I think that's where the Bruce Bochy conversation is.
Well, he does already with the World Series wins. And then as he continues to rack up more just regular season wins, it's a lock for him.
So glad we got rid of him.
Yes.
So glad the Giants cut ties on old washed Bruce Bochy.
Yep.
Number 2, please.
This was the lowest rated series ever. Safer out. This says more about the markets than baseball itself.
I'd say out. I'm sure the markets had an effect, but we're talking about Dallas and Phoenix. It's not like we're talking about Tampa Bay and whatever. I'm trying Milwaukee, Tampa Bay, and some other ENC market.
Great market of Phoenix.
But Phoenix is Phoenix. You know what Phoenix is, in my opinion. Is Phoenix? Are they top 10? I want to say I remember thinking
might be, but does anybody live there that's from there that's cares about the teams there?
No, that is true.
Though I will say this, their fan support in the game, the people that were at the games were really into it.
Yes, they were. You're absolutely right.
Credit for that.
The atmosphere last night was great.
Yeah.
Phoenix is actually number 11, right behind San Francisco.
They're not even a top 10.
No, they're not. Any idea where Sacramento is, TV market?
What is at one point it was 19, right?
Yeah, they're number 20 right now. We are sandwiched between. I should say we. We're sandwiched in between Cleveland and Charlotte.
Yeah,
right. Just
that's a weird sandwich.
I hate them. I hate all that so much.
I mean, I've never been to either, but
Cleveland or Charlotte.
Yeah, I'd pick Charlotte 100%.
Charlotte's what I remember about it is really clean,
very
city.
Clean town.
Yeah,
city. Whatever. Of all of my 30 minutes experience in both on the RV trip, that's my experience. Oh no, we went and saw a game in Cleveland. I forgot about that. We went and saw when LeBron was there. It was that Super Bowl trip. We saw Kings in Cleveland that year. But all I remember off of that trip was I walked like 30 minutes to get a pack of smokes.
Oh,
in Cleveland at night. It's a true story.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, what could go wrong? Well,
aren't all the weird like Ohio State, Midwest state laws are so weird.
They really are.
Just be normal.
Yeah, for real. Like
be normal.
No alcohol after 5 on Thursdays in stores. What? Like it'll just be some random thing like that, or you have to have at least 2 Bibles in your house at all times. Huh?
Yeah, not 1, but 2.
2 Bibles. There was one I remember. It was something about. It was one of those laws that really doesn't exist anymore, but it does technically. It was something about like you can't use contraception if something, right? And I always was like, well, how do you enforce that? How do you doing surprise checks? And if so, what is that?
Vet check.
Yeah. I'm gonna say out. It factors, but this is a baseball and a marketing issue. And like, how much of the World Series did you watch?
I watched every game.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Now, not every minute of every game.
Backfired.
Yeah.
How about you ask me? I watched a couple innings here and there.
Sorry. I'm trying to drink this ibuprofen.
Yeah. Did you chop it in half while you were sipping the water?
I took 3. and one of them just said, "Nope."
Yeah.
No,
he didn't.
The throat said, "Yeah, no, he didn't. Yes, he didn't." I don't think I watched the full 9 innings combined.
Okay.
Oh,
absolutely not.
I didn't. I probably watched 6 innings of the World Series. Just, I do. I think at one point, no, I do know this. I think it was Game 3, and I had it on, and then during a commercial, I flipped around because I don't like commercials like anyone, and it was like Harry
Something else
Potter.
caught your-
It was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Like, I haven't seen this in a week.
And I just started watching it because it was.
I know you like Harry Potter.
I do. Question 3, please.
Like New York and San Diego, Texas spent a ton of money upgrading their roster. Safer out. In the end, the leadership is just as important as the talent.
I don't want to get lost on the just. Just is important because that allows for equal, but I'm going to say safe. I don't know if it's 50-50. I don't know what the percentage is. But Bruce Bochy meant every bit as much to this championship as the talent on the field. And when I say, I was very careful to write that out as leadership because I also think Bob Melvin's a wonderful manager.
Right.
And that didn't work out in San Diego because of the rest of leadership. You can't just throw contracts on the wall and expect them to win a World Series. It has to be cohesive, and you're going to have to make some tough decisions throughout the season. Bochy did that this year, and I think if you had put, I won't call anyone out, but average to below average manager X in the Texas position, they're probably not even winning that. They're probably not even going to the playoffs.
Yeah, there's so many things I think, and this would be a really interesting study for someone to do like a deep dive into all the champions in every sport. But I feel like, Dave, so many things have to go right.
Yes.
Where 1 or 2 things can derail everything. Right. But you just need obviously good leadership. You need talent. You need people to have career years. You need to believe in your manager. You need to get a break here or there, stay healthy. There's just so many things that need to happen. And then you could look at Texas and go, wow, they were going to be built around Jacob deGrom. And then he's done for the year. Well, they add Max Scherzer. He's going to be a huge part of their postseason.
Right.
He was not. And yet here they are when they get to, kind of the most meaningful time. Then their guy who can't get out, Adolis Garcia, also gets hurt in the World Series.
Yeah.
And they fight through all of that. And here's Seager and Simeon and the whole group just finding ways to get it done.
28 days ago, a guy made a bet for $200 that the Rangers would win the World Series. The bet paid off yesterday at $80,000. The asterisk is this. He bet that the Rangers would beat the Diamondbacks in the World Series. Still, though, that's a nice, clean payoff.
What's
Cash grab.
that is a cash grab. What's a comfortable enough bet for you to do that you're likely throwing the money away? Like, I always feel like people would say $20.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to win, but let me put $20 in the Rangers to beat the Diamondbacks because I could win this. But 200's like you're throwing 200 away.
The right answer for me at least is $5.
Okay.
But the asterisk is that I make 10 of them. So probably about $50. Like if I'm going to do the weird, like you're going to lose.
Odds are really bad.
I'm going to spray a little bit of that around.
Okay.
Like, okay, I'm going to take this, but then I'm also going to do,
You want more bites of the apple.
That's exactly right.
That's
exactly right. So I'm going to bet lower, but
throw a few.
I'm going to throw a few
10 out there, and hopefully one of them hits.
Which is why, honestly, like I'm a huge proponent of legalizing gambling.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it's bad.
Yeah,
but it's everywhere
already
else.
bad anyway.
But the other side of the coin is this. Here's what I do know. If gambling were illegal in California, I probably would not be married anymore. I have a gambling issue.
But not now. I mean, I'm not saying you don't now. You think it would impact you now?
I think it would. I don't want to find out. The fact that I can't just go to the sports book or get online, and yes, I know there's sites, trust me, but usually those, it's, if I could just get like ESPN bets starting, I think on the 14th, that's not good for a guy like me if it's local, because I will bet a lot because it's more fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy it a lot more. But then I also do things like, well, I'm down a couple. I'm going to get it all back on this one.
With this. What could go wrong?
I've had enough experiences, and I think it. Look, you got to be careful here. I'm not trying to compare gambling addiction to alcoholism. Well, I guess I am because I'm about
They're
to.
same traits.
But it's like I know a couple of people that were alcoholics like in their early 20s, and now they're in their mid to late 40s. And I was like, wow, are you still an alcoholic? You haven't drank in like 20 years. It's like, yeah, I actually am. Like, I had a problem in my late teens, early 20s. I feel like I'm still like, that's never going to go away. That's just a part of your experience. But at the same time, let's legalize gambling. I got money to make.
Yeah.
I also got poop to pick up in my backyard. Yeah, I do.
Frowny?
Not anymore, Jason Ross. As a matter of fact, just for you, this isn't going to work on the air, but I took a couple pictures. I took a before and after picture.
Oh, fun.
Of Gus the Bus. I took a before and after picture of Gus before Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food, Bark Bark. This was Gus prior to the dog food.
Nice.
That's Gus now.
Oh,
yeah.
Happy Gus.
Happy Gus. This one, that's how I looked after the game last night.
Frowny Gus.
This one, smiley piles of poo.
Living his best life.
That's living his best life. You want to take care of your doggies on the inside even more than you want to take care of them on the outside. It's gall-dang important. It really is. And Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food, Bark Bark, it is owned by... It's privately owned. What I'm trying to say is it's not owned by, shareholders that are going to make you go cheap on this and cheap on that. Absolutely not. That's why it's the fastest growing privately owned dog food company that there is, period. Powerful antioxidants, seaweed, like all this stuff that not only goes into keeping your dog's gut health awesome, but they love it. Seriously, there's 6 different flavors. My dog... I'm not going to lie to you and say my dog is picky because he eats everything. But the way he ate the old food, which was like, okay, it was like jury duty. He knew he had to do it. Versus now where he just horks down the whole thing in 30 seconds. He loves the taste. And you know what? It's had a great effect. His digestion is good. He's throwing up almost not at all anymore, except when he got into the popcorn bag the other day and housed the whole thing. But that's not Supreme Source's fault. That's not the dog food's fault. Go to Safeway, Smart and Final. So many more locations. Winco's, the place I go to grab yourself a bag of Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food. Or you can go to supremesource.com. That's Supreme Source. Super Premium Dog Food. Bark, bark. Do more for your puppy's tummy than rub it.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I gotta change the oil in my car.
Right now, you can get 5 quarts of STP conventional or high mileage with an STP oil filter for only $27.99.
Get in the zone.
And what do I do with my old oil?
We can recycle your used oil for free.
Get in the zone.
And I might need some help.
No problem. We have helpful how-tos at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Ready for a sizzling football season? Take your game day parties to the next level with Napoleon Prestige Grills from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. Fire up the grill and score big with mouthwatering burgers, juicy steaks, and finger-licking wings. Napoleon Prestige Grills bring the heat and come complete with a lifetime warranty. Get your ultimate game day companion today. Visit your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply and elevate your tailgate experience with Napoleon Prestige Grills. Green Acres Nursery and Supply, your one-stop shop for grilling greatness this football season. Visit idategreenacres.com for the store near you. Game on! Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, so next break, you got to go see Chris. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got something?
I sent it to you. Oh, you sent it to Dave?
Yeah. You did, huh? Let me, can't do this now, but
I think you can play it over the air.
I can?
It happened on the air.
How much of the World Series is watching? I watched every game. Oh, did you? Yeah. Now, not every minute of every game. I'm fired. Yeah. How much you ask me? I watched a couple innings here and there. Sorry, I'm trying to drink this ibuprofen.
Did I just Barrows myself?
Wow, Barrows.
You ever had a pill stuck in your throat?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not fun. It's kind of like what the end of the game felt like last night. Like the cure is right there. The road to good feeling is right there, and it gets ripped away by the stupid idiot. I hate them. You know, I always say sports hate.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe I actually
real hate.
Maybe it's real hate.
Wow,
like
it's for real.
Actually hate the stupid, stinky Warriors.
Herter has the rebound for Sacramento. Herter straight away, transition three. Barely ripples the netting. Nice knockdown triple there by Kevin Herter. So the Kings, who went down 9 moments ago, are within 4 at 21-17.
I gotta say something.
Okay.
That was one of my favorite Kevin Herter games he's played. And let me explain. Like, you look at his box score. He had 11
double-double.
Huh?
Almost had a double-double.
Well, he had 9 boards, 3 assists, a steal, turned the ball over once. He was 4 of 11 and 1 of 5 from 3. Like that. I know the offense is there with Kevin Herter. I'm not worried about the offense coming back. But I think this is maybe the most important time in his career right now, where Mike Brown is saying, I'm focused on you, dude. I know there's more to your game.
Yeah, he's challenging him big time.
And it's not just like if I would challenge someone, and hopefully he plays the same way he did against Golden State, so not make a liar out of me. But when they play Houston, like, take a few possessions, maybe a quarter, and just don't follow the ball. Just follow Kevin Herter. It's kind of fun to do that with a player. Just focus on a single player and watch them. He's always been good at moving off ball, but I'm talking about, look at him work on defense. Look at him sky for rebounds. He's not going to get every rebound, but the fact of the matter is he's getting in there, and he's putting his body on people. He's rotating far better than he used to on defense. He's fighting through and he's going under some of these screens. And that's just stuff you didn't see last year. And I think I often try to equate this, Jason, to body blows in boxing. It's not flashy. There's no immediate payoff like a shot to the chin. But when you get into the championship rounds, it really starts to pay off. I feel like these are body blow games for Kevin Huerter right now that aren't going to jump out at anyone. You're going to hear me say what I said and then go, oh, dude, he had 11 points, idiot. If this continues, I think this is really going to play out later in the season and hopefully in the playoffs.
It'd be great for him, great for the team if that's the case.
Just to be able to add that type of tenacity. And I also think, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way to Kevin, but I think to some of the other fringy defensive players on the team, they start to see the results with Huerter. And it's like, well, if Kevin can do that, who is certainly not known as a defensive stopper, well, then I can do that as well. Don't forget at 7:45 in about 50 minutes, we're going to have the Jiffy Lube drive of the game. In the meantime, Malik Monk, no shock, led the bench in scoring.
See how the Kings respond with 1:18 to go. Malik Monk open right wing for three. Nails it. Malik Monk from downtown on the right angle.
I also didn't think I'd be saying this much, but Sasha Vezenkov's contributions were pretty much non-offensive yesterday. He did not have a good shooting game whatsoever. And honestly, he missed a couple of wide open gimmies, one in particular. He had 2 points on 1 of 6, but he still managed 5 boards in 17 minutes. And honestly, I think what we're seeing with Sasha Vezenkov that we didn't really know coming in is he can do things other than just shoot. Like he does move really well without the ball. I love the way he sets screens. And he is an active and able rebounder. And those are just things it's tough to tell in the EuroLeague that are they going to transition over here. Again, kind of like Huerter. You look at the guy's release and
it's so quick.
It is absolutely it
looks like he's rushing the shot every time, even if his feet are set and he's catching it in the rhythm.
That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
It does look like he's rushing, like, but that's just how if you watch him take shots in practice, that's just how he shoots. More on the Kings next. We'll look ahead as well. We do need to have a conversation about Colby Jones as well and his game last night, who stepped up. And let's take stock of the season after 4 games. We'll get to all that. More Kings talk. Kelly Brothers coming up at 7:27 right here on Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We'll get off to a cool start for this Thursday morning under hazy sunshine and temps in the 40s. Recovering nicely this afternoon under mostly sunny skies, highs in the mid-70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Winter's coming, so let's kick off the cold season right and get your heater all tuned up. Now just $79. No matter how cold it gets outside, you'll always be warm and toasty inside. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches in my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said, I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple people recommended the Good Feet store to me. I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around the store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store. Knee, hip,
foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Are you ready to go back to the summer of 99? Creed is back. Summer of 99 tour. For the first time in more than a decade with very special guests. 3 Doors Down. Plus Finger 11. September 1st, Toyota Amphitheater. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at livenation.com as part of the Hard Rock Sacramento concert series.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of hundreds of thousands of customers every single day. Imagine what you could do if your business had that kind of reach. It's not a dream. Right now, you can take advantage of Amazon's expansive network to benefit your business. Unlock expert insights and tap into the full potential of Amazon. Simply text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105. Put the power of Amazon to work for you. Text DIGITAL, that's DIGITAL, to 916-766-5105.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easier with American Energy Heat and Air's online quoting tool. All you have to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote right now. It'll help you determine what system you're going to need to get. It'll provide the best pricing options, all from the comfort of your home without having to have somebody come to your home. You know how annoying that is? They come in and, and everybody there is so sweet and nice, but how much better is it to be able to get it on demand? Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your needs are, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings lost a heartbreaker last night to the Warriors 102-101. Domantas Sabonis was the lead scorer with De'Aaron Fox out with a sprained ankle. He had 23 points to go along with 11 rebounds and 8 assists. Kings are now going on the road. They'll be in Houston on Saturday when they take on the Rockets. You can listen to Saturday's game right here on Sactown Sports. Major League Baseball season came to an end yesterday when the Texas Rangers shut out the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-0 to win their first World Series. Rangers shortstop Corey Seager was named the World Series MVP and became the first player in Major League history to win a World Series MVP in both leagues. His first came in 2020 when he was a member of the Dodgers. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
And Ed the Sabonis. Sabonis top of the foul circle, gives to Davion Mitchell, looking for another three, and he scores it. He was backpedaling when he hit the foot of Wiggins, and he almost fell down, but he has 6. Kings trail 12-6. Herter has the rebound for Sacramento. Herter straight away, transition 3. Barely ripples the netting. Nice knockdown triple there by Kevin Herter. So the Kings, who went down 9 moments ago, are within 4 at 21-17. lobs a pass. It's broken up by the Kings. Davion grabbed by Sabonis. Feeds it ahead to Harrison Barnes. The Falcon toes the line. Fires for three. Scores the triple. Harrison Barnes with a transition three. Kings lead 45-41. Sacramento from downtown, 6-4-11. Rebound snared by Sabonis. Ahead now to Keegan Murray on the left angle. Keegan tonight has had a genuine struggle. 0 for 7. 6 of those 7 attempts have been from three-point range. Few probes. He gets inside. Here's the floater. And he's got his first 2 on the left angle. And Steve, see how the Kings respond with 1:18 to go. Malik Monk open right wing for 3. Nails it. Malik Monk from downtown on the right angle. Kings with Davion Mitchell at the point. Looking, finding Herder off the curl. Here's the release for 3. Front rim short. Rebound. Harrison Barnes. Second chance. Looks for Sabonis. Reaches inside and scores. Ties the game at 87. 4:45 to play. Sabonis dribble handoff to Keegan Murray. Hesitates with a dribble. Draws a double team. Pivots clear. Finds Monk. He drives. He scoops. He scores off the dribble. Malik Monk with a drive to the rim. Makes it 97-94. 1:43 and counting.
We know how the rest of that went. But I want to go back to a highlight I played earlier.
Here's Kuminga. Too easy inside. Oh, he's rejected by McGee. How in the world did he get over there in time to block that? That was spectacular by JaVale McGee.
We're already seeing dividends paid with the signing of JaVale McGee.
Yeah.
He's being used exactly like he should. And in 10 minutes last night, he had 6 points, 6 boards, and a block.
That block was spectacular.
It was insane. And to have somebody like that, no offense to anyone last year, but to have somebody like that be able to spell Domantas Sabonis when Sabonis is off the floor, like they get better defensively with JaVale McGee in there. They're certainly not as good offensively or distributing the ball, but JaVale also hasn't been some crazy one-track slouch on offense. We've seen him in his spots be able to put the ball in the basket, but it's just, and Jason, as you know better than anyone, it's not just, oh, he had a block. It's, oh, look at all these shots that have been changed. The Kings dominated the interior last night.
Yeah, there was something they, didn't do, I don't think, well enough at all in the playoff series with the Warriors was rebound. They out-rebounded them. They did a good job in the paint. I mean, they had a really good scheme and a lot of things in this game. But I think back to JaVale, to your point, Dave, that he's just such a better fit. Remember the offseason when they kept Len? We know they had Sabonis.
Yep.
But it was also Kata still around and Nerlens Noel. It's like, how are they going to fit? How are they going to play all that? Well, McGee kind of does a lot of those things in one player off the bench with experience, championship experience. Just makes a lot more sense his fit with this team.
48 rebounds for the Kings last night, 36 for the Warriors.
A lot of offensive rebounds.
14 offensive rebounds for the Kings last night versus 7 for the Warriors. And that to me is some. If there's a bright side to last night, it's that this is still a good team without De'Aaron Fox. They're not what they are, but I know this for a fact. If they play with the intensity they played last night over the next 3 games, they're going to be 5-2, Oklahoma City at home, De'Aaron Fox back and healthy.
Yesterday you asked in the show to me, then to when Katie was on as well, was what's a realistic, I mean, how can they realistic? They had the blueprint. Yeah. I think their scheme was great. They clearly made it a plan that they weren't going to let Steph beat them. I thought they defended him as well as they have in recent memory.
Yep.
And yeah, you live with Draymond hitting a couple threes early. Other guys, Saric hitting critical baskets, but they weren't going to let it be Steph get 45, 50. And in the end, got it out of Steph's hands.
That's right.
And Klay Thompson hits a shot. I mean, I don't want to say you live with it. You have to. But again, how do you do it? You compete, you battle. I think the first 6 minutes of the fourth quarter was the most glaring time that you missed the clutch player of the year.
Yes.
They missed them all game.
Yes.
They scored 4 points in 6 minutes.
Yes.
And you're going, they're in this game. They could still win. They got better in the last 6 minutes and had a chance to win. But you could chalk up 10 to 15 points from Fox.
Yes,
like he's going to score that in the fourth quarter.
We should also add in, because we haven't yet, that the Kings made a small trade yesterday to complete the Harden deal. Philadelphia sent Philip Petrusev to Sacramento in exchange for Luka. I forget, not that one. No, the other Luka, I guess, which is somebody we had rights to from a couple years ago. Petrusev, in case you care, was a second-round pick in 2021 of the Sixers. He is a 6'11", 240-pound center out of Yugoslavia. He did play for Gonzaga for a couple of years, so an alma mater of the same school our guy Sabonis went to. 17 and a half points to go with 8 boards his final year at Gonzaga. And really just, member of the European EuroLeague champions in 2022. Look, this is a free look at a flyer for Monty and friends. Obviously, it's not some sort of crazy impact trade whatsoever necessarily, but just an opportunity to they got some cash from Philly, and they get a guy that they get to take a look at the center position.
Sure.
I mean, there's really nothing more to read in there. 10, you're on with Dave and Jason. Good morning.
Good morning. I liked what I saw from Kobe Jones last night, even though the Kings lost, but they lost by 1, so every bucket counts. The 4 points that Kobe scored, the 2 buckets, I was impressed because they were like slow motion. I could tell that he had everything under control. Now, if he could just speed it up, maybe a little bit quicker, next game, I'd be really impressed. But Kobe Jones, shout out to him.
Yeah, no, thank you. And it wasn't just his offense either.
Jones down inside. Great assist pass, feeding Sasha Vezenkov for a quick little turn and score. And the Kings now lead it by 5 on a 14-3 run. They're on top 33-28.
He got 17 minutes. Coach had said he'd get somewhere around 10, maybe more. 4 points, made half his shots. 3 boards, and just a stat filler, a Kirilenko, if you will, an assist, a steal, and a block. Did not turn the ball over. Did have 3 fouls, which is a welcome to the NBA, but also 3 fouls in the sense he's trying to play defense. He was very active on defense. I did like what I saw from Colby Jones. His first points came from a little turnaround on the baseline, a little 6-7 footer. He had a running one-hander for his other points. Was active and looked like, most importantly, he looked like he belonged out there getting minutes.
You know how we've said in the past, like Monty has a type in the players he drafts. I think there's higher profile with Davion, certainly with Halliburton and Keegan. They're ready to play in the NBA, these guys. Now, those guys are playing high-volume minutes, especially Keegan and Halliburton. Davion, too. Colby Jones, I don't know where his minutes or how often they will, but he can play. Like, he can fit in right now. I said it before, Dave, if a couple of injuries happen and Coach Brown said, I'm starting Colby Jones for 2 weeks, I think he'd be just fine. As long as he's around, 4 other experienced players, he's a fit-in guy, ready to go, doesn't look like a rookie to me at all.
No, he doesn't. And that's I think you bring up a fantastic point about Monty's type. We all have our type. Monty, when it comes to basketball and his front office, it's that versatile, high IQ, gonna fit nicely in the locker room type of guy. Also, shout out to De'Aaron Fox. I know this is not really a shout out worthy thing, but I think I love that he was on the bench last night. Nobody would have batted an eye if he just stayed at home and rehabbed and had his foot in the pool or whatever you do. But he was on the bench and he was engaged the whole time and he was there for his teammates. And I get it. It's it's an hour and a half away. No big deal. But that's just the tiny things that leaders do.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness brought to you by Fire Wings. We lose a coaching icon. Big Ten coaches are upset, speaking of. And Milwaukee, is there trouble in the Cream City, if you will? I'm certainly not going to call it paradise. We'll get to that next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out, Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Kelly brothers will join us in the next segment, just a couple of minutes. I want to remind you, 3 for Madness brought to you by Fire Wings. We'll talk a little bit more about them at the end of this. In the meantime, Christopher Laud behind the glass with the 3 for Madness questions. Question 1.
Bobby Knight passed away yesterday. Good and bad, he was an icon. What would you say is the closest equivalent to a coaching icon today?
All right, so basketball, what? Phil Jackson, Mike Krzyzewski, Popovich?
Yeah. I really feel like the icon part lasts longer in college.
I agree with you.
Because they generally stay, Izzo at a university, when Boeheim was kind of, to me, Coach K, certainly.
Coach K is,
Pat Summitt.
Great,
Gino
Auriemma. Coach K more successful than Bobby,
right?
But weirdly, I don't think is iconic.
Interesting.
I could be wrong. Just character wise, like I don't.
Well, what makes iconic? Because I think Bobby Knight might be iconic for the wrong reasons.
I think part of his iconicness is wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be real about Bobby, which Bobby was real about everything, and I don't think if Bobby was here, sitting next to us, I don't think he'd have an issue with us. I don't think he'd get offended at anything we're going to say.
No, but he's not coaching 30 years at Indiana now, present day Bobby Knight, the way he was 30 something years ago, right?
You're saying he wouldn't last 30 years? Mm-mm. No, God,
not in this day and age.
No. Bobby, look, let's just be honest. Bobby Knight in 1988 said that, I think if rape is inevitable, sit back and enjoy it. That's maybe his most famous quote. And you know what I mean by famous. Infamous.
Yeah.
He would have never coached again.
Right.
And I'm not here to judge and get in a political argument and cancel. I'm just saying for a fact, I think we can all agree that if Bobby Knight said that in 2023, I don't care if he was coming off a national championship.
It's a different time.
Indiana would have denounced his remarks, would have suspended him, and then after much more pressure, would have said, we've decided to part ways. Because that is I don't want to do comparison. That's a really bad take. Okay, and Bobby Knight threw a chair, and Bobby Knight said swear words at a time when coaches usually didn't do that publicly, and Bobby Knight choked a player. Like, let's lay it all out there. Bobby Knight was also beloved. He got results. He was a good man to many with flaws. Icon is so interpreted in different ways, Jason.
Yeah.
But I would say Bobby Knight was, for many reasons, a unique character in the world of coaching.
For sure. And, he's got the last undefeated team in Indiana, but that's so long ago. And but I think it's probably more the people that he coached or coached against him that he left the more of that iconic mark on.
100%. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
Big Ten coaches are urging the league to act on Michigan sooner rather than later. Do Do you think they'll play a bowl game this year?
When you read the comments, and if you look at the article about that phone call, the conference call yesterday between Big Ten coaches and the head of Big Ten, Jim Harbaugh hung up, the head coach at Michigan hung up so that the rest of the coaches could speak freely. And apparently it was heated, it was emotional, it was, they were trying to lay out all the things and all the reasons why this is, Jason, you and I've talked about this, and we asked Coach Dan Hawkins yesterday, and we've kind of learned a lot, both of us, on how much of an advantage it is or it is not. One thing that really stood out to me in this article was the Wolverines. This guy Connor Stallions has been there 3 years. Okay, the Wolverines have gone 33-3 overall and 22-1 in Big Ten play. In the prior 3 years, they were 21-11 overall and 16-8 in league play. Now, that doesn't mean that's all because of the sign stealing. That would be irresponsible to say that. But I think the other coach's point was, guys, we can't wait on the NCAA because they're in the middle of this thing, and it's probably going to take them a while. In fact, I've been saying I don't think they're going to play in a bowl game this year. I'm not going to step off of that yet. But there was a line in here that really did stand out to me, is that the coaches acknowledged the reality on the call that the NCAA enforcement timeline won't impact Michigan this season. So now it's up to the Big Ten, which can circumvent the NCAA, or should I say preempt the NCAA ahead of time and step in and say, okay, we're going to take one of our top schools out of the national championship equation. You better be sure. You better have the proof. But if they are sure and they do have the proof, then they have to do it.
This is going to be a great debate between what's right or wrong and money.
Yes.
Right? So if let's paint the scenario that Michigan keeps going, beats Ohio State, knocks Ohio State out of the 4, but Michigan's representing the Big Ten, the only school out of the Big Ten representing the 4. There is so much money that's spread around the conference.
Yeah.
And if they're going to be, and I'm not saying they're wrong for doing this, but there'll be people that'll go, well, I mean, we're going to make X. He's probably going to leave. He may get punished later. The school may get punished later. I think that's going to be a really interesting debate amongst people behind closed doors.
The thing that's looming over all of this, too, that we're not used to having loom. I got a feeling that there's a few casinos that are asking some serious questions about this, too. It's a whole different ball game now, pun intended. And you're talking about real money. And
I think they play a bowl game.
The casinos?
Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. Yeah.
It's just a time thing.
I think the odds are in your favor of being correct. But I'm going to be the guy that sticks with his bad take, because if it's right, then I'm going to be like, hey, I knew it. I just had a feeling, and then I'll play it up. And if I'm wrong, I'll play it down.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yes, exactly.
That's what you do on sports radio.
I never said that.
Cut number 3.
Question 3.
Milwaukee lost to the Raptors by 19 last night. Is there real trouble, or are they just adjusting to Dame and life without Holiday?
I think it's more about life without Jrue Holiday. But there is some adjustment. You got to adjust now. It's always been Giannis and friends. And now it's, it's not it's not the Jacksons with Michael anymore. Now it's more like the Bee Gees, where you've got to make room for others. And, look, sure, Barry Gibbs is the guy. But Robin and, other folks, they got it. In order for the Bee Gees to be successful, it can't just be Barry Gibb.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Barry solo.
Yeah.
And we saw they were never as good as the sum of the parts. And the Bucks right now are exactly like the Bee Gees.
That's the comp.
They are. And I wouldn't say Dame is necessarily Robin. I think it's a little more vocal.
Yeah.
But they got to figure it out. Yes. They got to do something. And I think they will. I think they'll adjust, but they've had a couple of stinkers.
And 39 in his debut. That was not a stinker. Everybody was loving him then.
Not a stinker.
Yeah. They'll figure it out.
But was
They'll
that
be
a
fine.
winning 39?
It was.
It was, actually. You got to play winning. You know what they got to do? They got to play winning basketball. They got to go all in for each other. They got to put team first, and they got to want it.
And shoot the ball the right way.
Shoot the ball the right way.
We'll bring the roar.
Is it Bring the Roar this year?
Yeah.
I saw that last. Bring the Roar. Have we pretty much recycled? Like, we've got Feel the Roar. Now we have Bring the Roar.
We've done a lot with the roar.
We've done a ton with the Roar. There's a lot of
Here we roar. That's a hard to say. Here we roar.
Here we roar. That's like what was that from the show I don't ever watch, but I remember that the Rural Juror.
30 Rock.
30 Rock. It's kind of the rural juror of sayings.
What?
Rural juror. That is not an easy one.
Let's just roar.
Here we roar. Yeah,
It's time to roar.
It's time to roar.
Grr.
Did he roar? No, he roared.
No, he roared. Yes, he roared. Yes, perfect. We'll take a break. Oh, by the way, I got a text yesterday from David J. Sternwalk. I am told that we will incredibly soon have our jerseys replaced.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that they've all been packed and are about ready to go.
Okay.
So we can finally replace our Bagley and Halliburton
and Holmes
right there. They took it down. Yeah, it'd be nice to refresh those on your Home of the Kings.
Yes.
Maybe we can get a Jimmer.
Yeah.
Macklemore.
Yeah.
That would actually be kind of a funny bit if we had like Thomas Robinson, Jimmer, Macklemore, and Olivia St. John. Tariq Abdul-Wahid. Much like it'd be a great bit if we had chicken wings in here right now. That's a A+ transition by your boy Carmichael Dave. Hope you enjoyed a Wing Day Wednesday. Wing Day Wednesday was yesterday. And I heard a lot of great feedback. Or would it be great food back? 21 different flavors to choose from. You were able to snatch for 88 cents, but that doesn't mean that's in the time of the week you can get value. No, you get value all the time. Fire Wings. Locally owned and operated. So many of those flavors are classic. Of course, your classic buffalo and garlic and all that fun stuff. But it's the fusion that I think really shines for them, whether it's the peanut butter wing, the award-winning peanut butter wing. Whether it's the breaded Malaysian curry, my favorite, the Jamaican jerk, the Saigon kick, and so many more. Go to firewings.com and look for yourself. Great place to watch a ball game. Great place to stock up for the ball game. Soaked in buttermilk all night long. Tender, juicy, just like Chris Roulade. Go check them out. Firewings.com. Find the location near you. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Firewings! Just wing it. When we come back, Kelly Brothers next.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season? Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995? Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
iPhone 15 Pro on Verizon.
This holiday, trade in any iPhone in any condition for the new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium, Apple TV 4K, and 6 months of Apple One. All on us with Unlimited Ultimate. Go to your local Verizon store now. 6 months of Apple One, then $10 per month. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line on Unlimited Ultimate plan required. Less $1,000 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR. Apple TV 4K and Apple One offers require eligible purchase with activation on Unlimited Ultimate. Additional terms and conditions apply. Visit Verizon.com for details.
O'Reilly. Protect your engine better with Syntec full synthetic high mileage motor oil. Only at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec high mileage is formulated for today's engines with over 75,000 miles. Now get 5 quarts of Syntec high mileage and a MicroGuard Select oil filter for just $34.99. Limits apply. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings lost a heartbreaker last night to the Warriors 102-101. Domantas Sabonis was the lead scorer with De'Aaron Fox out with a sprained ankle. He had 23 points to go along with 11 rebounds and 8 assists. The Kings are now going on the road. They will be in Houston Saturday night when they take on the Rockets. You can listen to Saturday's game right here on Sactown Sports. Major League Baseball season came to an end yesterday when the Texas Rangers shut out the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-0 to win their first World Series. Rangers shortstop Corey Seager was named the World Series MVP and became the first player in Major League history to win a World Series MVP in both leagues. His first came in 2020 when he was a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Joining us now on Sports Sense, certified financial planner Kelly Brothers. Kelly is an advisor with Cap Trust, one of the nation's largest registered investment advisors. Cap Trust counts among its clients numerous pro athletes and pro sports franchises, but most importantly serves many Northern Californians through comprehensive financial planning. Here's Kelly Brothers.
There he is, the one, the only, made for TV.
Yep. You know why I got out of TV? High definition.
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Kelly, what was your makeup routine when you were on TV? Were you more of a the compact with the mirror and just the powder, or was it more intense?
Yeah, I have that fine Irish skin that it's not fine Irish skin. It was funny. The first time I ever anchored, I went over to I anchored the evening news on KCRA. I went over to my mom and dad's house. Mm-hmm. My mom cooked dinner, and I walked in. She said, "Just what I've always wanted: a son who wears more makeup than me." And yeah, she had a sense of humor. But you used to have to put some stuff on, especially in the winter. In the summer, it wasn't as you had a little color in your face. It didn't matter as much, but in the winter. Especially me, but high definition is scary for guys getting older like me. You know.
How long was that?
By the way, Jason, hey, I wanted to let you know we Cap Trust, we did a little tailgater for our clients at the Sac State game.
Oh, there you go.
And they gave us a great spot, and we brought in a great food truck, prime French dip, and we had 150 to 200 folks there, and it was fantastic. The atmosphere outside in that parking lot was just great. It was really an eye opener of how that you can have that atmosphere in Sacramento as well.
Yeah, so that was this last weekend at homecoming.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and you braved the elements. It was a little bit cold out there, but I think the tailgating has really, really grown at Sac State. So I'm glad you experienced that, because that's something they've really put a lot of work in.
No, we're going to do it again next year. If you're out there early, 2 hours early, and the band with all the cheerleaders come through with all the players behind them, it's a great moment. It really is.
That's cool.
Kelly, talk to me, because usually I like to think I'm on top of stuff, but I don't understand. What is this new sports bar partnership thing that was just announced with TNT MCing with shared reality and all that? What are they talking about?
Yeah, it's a new venture. It's called Cosm, and I think in the future, your high-end sports bars are going to be just like this. This is a new venue. They're building one in Dallas and one in LA. Think of the Sphere in Vegas, and if you've seen any of the videos of YouTube playing at the Sphere, it's completely immersive, 8K screens all around you, and they want to replicate that as a viewing experience for the sports fan. So they're going to build these huge screened out, not just like, the traditional sports bar today has 25 screens, but 10 might be on one game, 10 on another, 5 on the NHL game, whatever. This would be one game, immersive experience, 800 people, and they're going to build it out and see how it goes. But this is the way sports bars are going to go. It's going to be the experience of it, the ability to kind of live in that moment. It requires a different kind of whole paradigm of photography and sound, but they are building it out with TNT, and they plan to offer in LA and Dallas NBA and NHL games in this format to kind of test it. And then you'll absolutely, if it works, you'll absolutely see it in the NFL too.
It's really interesting to me, because you have like the Sphere going on right now in Vegas, and I've talked about, there. As far as I know, I'm not as of yet prone to seizures, but I am very sensitive to strobe and to different things. It kind of messes with me, and I've wondered aloud whether one of the side effects we're going to see from the Sphere performances is you're going to have people that are sensitive that are going to have some issues. The new Apple headset is coming out sometime in early 2024. This is old technology in the concept, but more streamlined now. The idea there that there will be cameras like that in the front row, center row of an NBA game or an NHL game on the boards, and you slip the headset on and you are now immersed in this, whether it's shared reality, virtual reality, augmented reality. And I've put them on before where with the Meta Quest, and it's awesome because you're sitting courtside and you're looking left and there's Kevin Durant, right? I mean, it really is a crazy experience. And then you look behind you, and instead of seeing the court, you see stats. And then if you look behind you the other way, there's like more stats. It's like a graphic that you see. And I do feel like that is the future of watching sports, where everybody can be courtside. The problem, Kelly, is that you got a lot of people like me. I've got about 10 minutes tops in one of those headsets, and then I start getting incredibly nauseous. I have to take them off, and half the time I get a headache the next day. So it'll be really interesting to see, in my long-winded explanation here, the combination of the technology and also who that technology will be available for medically.
No, absolutely. I mean, it will be too much for some people.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. And they have to find the right balance. But it's not unlike concerts today, Dave, where, if I go to a concert, a quarter of the people I see at the concert will have earplugs in. In other words, the sound is too much for them as it is currently. And so you see them, they want to protect their hearing, and rightfully so, because losing your hearing later in life because you attended too many concerts is a bad deal. So there's going to have to be some sense of moderation that comes in here, and they'll have to figure it out, or they won't be able to sell tickets to these places. But you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think, Kelly, what's going to be interesting about this, if this really does grow, there's like a three-prong attack on our dollars, right? You've got people that want you to go to the games, these teams and organizations that are trying to make money with you being there in person, versus these potential sports bars that give you just this incredible experience. And then there's always people that, hey, I could just sit at my home and make my own dinner and get my, have my own drinks and all that. I feel like that competition for these dollars has always been in play, but what do you think this will do if this does well for people like the Kings, like the Niners, like the Giants that are trying to get you and me and Dave to go to the games?
Oh, we all love having the 78-inch television and having it at the volume we want, and having the food and drink there. But there is something about the community experience of watching sports, especially when you get to the playoffs, and you see it a lot. I know in Sacramento there's like a Pittsburgh Steelers bar where all the Steelers fans go and they watch the game. So, to the extent you can huddle with your own tribe to watch a big game, that still has value to a lot of folks as well. And it's especially true in college football as well. So it's going to be a mix, Jason. But I think in big cities, having the immersive experience that like just Dave just described, they just want to test it out. And of course, the additional layer of potential profitability on all this now is the gambling piece of it. If they can layer in, the wagering piece, then it becomes a real home run.
And that's where I truly think the future of if I had to guess, if I had to forecast, it's always going to be a mixture. It'll never be one thing. We've talked about this before. The last run of the Kings in the 2000s, I went to Palm Street Pub and Grill in Carmichael for almost every road game, and they would have the games that weren't available at home on satellite, and we would pack the place, and it was a huge booming time for sports bars. And I don't know if it's a combination of technology or me getting older, and it's probably both, but I'm not out looking for a wife anymore. I have children now. I'm older now, and I find myself wanting to be in front of my big giant TV at home with my cheap snacks and cheap food and cheap family and all that stuff. Where I think in the future, Kelly, and I hate to say this, but I think the biggest growing segment is going to be as these TVs continue. Like, you can get a 55-inch TV for $200 now. That's 4K. When you start getting the goggles in, I think by the time my kids are my age, most of the interaction, why wouldn't you sit on your couch with your Darth Vader helmet on? You're watching the games, you're betting over here, you're surfing Twitter or whatever the hell it is there. You're curating a musical playlist. I mean, it just seems like, in a weird way, to your point, we are getting more and more isolated through technology, which is really kind of augmenting us as human beings, or it's attaching to our bodies, and it's almost cyborg-esque, if you will.
That is. Another little funny anecdote too, though, I think, is the further you are from home, the more important the community piece is. And
right.
On Sunday night, we were at the Kings-Laker game, and I have a son who's going to school in Rome for the semester, and the family text chain is blowing up with all the nephews and nieces and everything. I'm all about Kings Lakers and on, and he's chiming in. And finally, I texted him back and said, "It's 3:30 in the morning. Where you what?" And he said, "Dad, there are 30 kids in the room watching this with us." So they all came in to watch. It's an important deal when you're not at home. So anyway.
That's great.
One last thing, Kelly, and we're almost out of time here. Want to ask you about, we just wrapped up the baseball season. The Rangers, congrats to them. We've seen the Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox kind of buy their teams in the past. Doesn't always work, but the Rangers kind of went that road. What'd you think about their spending the money the way they did, and it resulted in the title?
It absolutely went that way. I mean, 2 years ago, they lost 102 games, and literally within a month, they dropped $560 million on Seager and Simeon and Gray, and here they are winning the World Series 2 years later. 2 years later. So, to me, the key move was the hiring of Boch, and I'm thrilled for Bruce Bochy. And I know there's a lot of Giants fans. Why? How could he leave the Giants, or the Giants force him out? No, I had a chance to talk to him about it, and he just said, "Hey, my health was such, I had to take time." I think he had 2 knees and a shoulder redone. Remember, he was a catcher.
Yeah.
So he had major surgeries done over about a year and a half and recuperated and looked good. And then one of his former players, Chris Young, called him and said, "Look at this team we got. Do you want to get back in?" And he was back in. And to think that he just won his 4th, cementing his place in the Hall of Fame, he didn't need to. But it doesn't happen all that often. We've seen Dodgers, Yankees, and a lot of Giants fans will be happy just to see Corey Seager win another one, not on the Dodgers. But
right.
But it doesn't happen all that often. But in this case, they did it. And remember, they put an end kind of to the Astros story, which was a different story. The Astros story was one of, they just built their farm system and had all these incredible players and have had a great run. And congratulations to the incomparable Dusty Baker on what I think will be the end of his managing career anyway. But they put an end to that run in the state of Texas. So anyway, it doesn't happen often, but for the Rangers, building through free agency worked, and you can't deny it.
Jason lied, because we are out of time, but I got to ask you, because you mentioned you spoke to Bruce Bochy. I know you over at Cap Trust, you deal with pro athletes too, and it's just interesting. Are there similarities between dealing with pro athletes and dealing with Jason Ross or me?
No, Dave, they're really not really. I mean, the pro athletes, it's much more about getting them to understand. I think these days of these paychecks are not going to last forever. So here's your allowance, and let's invest the rest so that you have real options 20 years out. For families, it's a much different feel, but it's still about building wealth, being smart, avoiding taxes when you can, and understanding that why you're investing is so that inflation doesn't completely cancerously eat away at the purchasing power of the money that you do save. You're just trying to beat inflation and make sure that dollar you have today, when you need it 20 years from now, it's still worth at least $1. And at Cap Trust, I think we have an advantage just because we're independent, we're fiduciaries, we don't take money from anyone except our clients. We even have what they call a no golf ball rule. We cannot accept a golf ball with a logo of any custodian, mutual fund company, insurance company, which is a bummer. I used to get great Pro V1s from a lot of vendors.
Yeah.
Can't do that anymore. So anyway, but I appreciate you asking, Dave.
Oh, my pleasure. My best friend's mom and dad are leaving on Friday for a 3-week cruise through Asia, and they do this like every 3 months, and they did whatever the hell they did. I want to do it because every 3 months they go to Greece, Asia, Australia, whatever. And they're old. They're not making money,
but they got.
And at first you can get really good deals on long cruises. I had a client who took 3 cruises in a year and said, you know what? She added it up, and she said it was actually cheaper to be on a cruise ship for that year than to be in a retirement home.
No, there's a story about that. There's a lady who she's been living on cruise ships for 5 years now. Her husband passed away, and it was a choice between going in a retirement home or going on cruise ships. She figured out it was around the same price, and so she goes, "Yeah, I have husbands all over the world now. I go out and I ballroom dance and I do whatever, and they all know her." And I mean, there you go.
Did you know, guys, that cruise ship companies will actually hire older men, or they give them a greatly discounted or free fare? But, because another reality of our business, and we have to talk with women about, is if you're married, you're going to outlive your husband most likely. I mean, that's just, the life expectancy for a woman is 3-4 years beyond a man. And in most cases, they will outlive the man. But they actually they're looking for men to basically play Golden Bachelor, come on, dance, socialize. They want you in the casino because there is an overload on women to men on a lot of these cruises. So just an interesting little sidelight and a future job for you.
No, I've heard. Yeah, absolutely. And, there's bonuses there too. I've heard, you know what they are?
What?
Depends.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take a break. Listen, Kelly, appreciate your time.
Great to see you we'll see you next week. Say hi to your dad.
All right. Thank you. Take care. That's Kelly Brothers. We will take a break. Did you?
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. I got all right. When we come back, NBA recap from last night. We got audio, and we'll take a look at the early standings next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
At Harbor Freight, we think you shouldn't have to break the bank to get great tools. Because we know that for some of you, tools are part of the job. And for others, they're just the beginning of making, fixing, restoring, and building. That's why we make high-quality tools that are priced affordably. Because we love being the start of all your working, making, fixing, restoring, and building. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Get big savings and big rewards during Pro-Vember at Lowe's. Right now, MVP's members earn 3 times the bonus points on DeWalt products and save $200 on a DeWalt sliding compound miter saw. Plus, earn 3 times the bonus points on Little Giant products and save $70 on a Little Giant multi-position 14-foot ladder. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 11/22.
The glory and the greatness are only a few days away. The 40th running of the Breeders' Cup World Championships at Santa Anita is finally here. The ultimate racing showdown that every owner, trainer, and jockey around the globe has in their sights. With $31 million in purses and awards, there's a lot at stake. But only the best will claim the coveted title of World Champion. Coverage begins Friday, November 3rd on USA and continues Saturday, November 4th on USA and NBC. Visit breederscup.com to learn more.
O'Reilly.
Protect your engine better with Syntec Full Synthetic High Mileage Motor Oil, only at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec High Mileage is formulated for today's engines with over 75,000 miles. Now get 5 quarts of Syntec High Mileage and a MicroGuard Select oil filter for just $34.99. Limit supply. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Warms your boy.
Yes.
We were just having an off-air soup conversation. My wife had me make chicken noodle. I was telling Jason.
Why would you make it if you don't love it?
Because she was doing.
She coaching?
Coaching. Second day of girls basketball tryouts. She's the assistant coach. By the way, he shot the ball the right way. Yeah. Mason was made the JV team.
Nice. Way to go.
Freshman on the JV team. So.
Okay.
Straight from soccer to basketball.
That's a respectable job.
Yeah. It is. So
early running for coach of the year.
My wife.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. This is incredibly. It's going to be incredibly entertaining to me for a while because I just don't. It's not like she doesn't have enough reaction to pressure and stress. So we'll see how this
turn
goes.
On the Jets.
Yeah, she says I'm going to lose my effing top to these little girls. I guess she asked I say little girls. They're high school. I guess she asked them yesterday, like, "Hey, are you who here is a fan of a team in the NBA? Are you a Warriors fan?" None of them, right? Like they don't watch the NBA. Not sure the team's going to do that well this year. If you don't watch the NBA. But I made chicken noodle. I confess I'm not a chicken soup guy, and I know I'm an outlier. I acknowledge it. I just don't like the consistency of chicken and soup.
Interesting.
You said something though. You had me trying to guess your favorite soup. I would have never guessed French onion.
Yeah, I like a lot of soups, but if a restaurant has French onion soup, I'm ordering it. Giving it a try.
Can I tell you? My wife's listening. We're going to take the drive of the game right now. I want to remind you at 1-800-920-1140, brought to you by our good friends at Jiffy Lube, the Jiffy Lube drive of the game. You yourself could get a $100 gift certificate to Jiffy Lube just for knowing what Gary Gerald's drive of the game was yesterday.
Great game to listen to.
Yeah. We'll take the first caller at 1-800-920-1140. French onion soup's a little too strong for me. And the cheese toupee, as you said, which my wife loves, it's like chewing cheese gum.
Interesting.
But
the bread at the bottom or the croutons or however they do it.
The bread at the bottom is the best because if you eat the bread at the bottom, it's like nice and soaky and all that. All right, 1-800-920-1140, the Jiffy Lube drive of the game. Meanwhile, around the league.
They're going to fly all the way in. They don't even get a concession. The 2 with 1, and the Lakers have ended the streak. And the emotional LeBron comes out.
11 straight losses to the Clippers. 11 straight, Jason Ross was. So did you, by the way, did you see the thing where LeBron was dapping up everybody at center court and Russ was over like on the baseline? And so LeBron dapped up everybody but Russ. And then as soon as LeBron went back to his spot before the jump ball, then Russ kind of comes back over. I was trying to think, I'm sure it's an obvious answer, but what is the beef between them?
I have no idea.
I mean, Russ has beef with a bunch of people for weird reasons, but
maybe they just didn't enjoy their time together.
Got him traded to the Lakers and then blamed him for the Lakers not winning.
Did he blame him?
I mean, like,
well, there must be something there. Meanwhile, over in Utah, Jordan Clarkson was doing things.
Here's Horton Tucker, pedals all the way down, flares it to Linnick. Volleyball passes to Clarkson. Corner 3, good.
Boy, I'm loving this. I'm so glad Clarkson is getting healthy.
133-109. I play that clip because the Grizzlies are 0-5.
Yeah, so last year when the Kings were 0-4, they were playing well. There was thoughts like, okay, they could turn this around, and they ultimately did. You're 0-5, and there's not reinforcements coming for a while. Adams is out. We know Clark is out, and then John Morant's still 20 more games.
in a very difficult West.
They were the 2 seed.
Yeah.
We said someone always kind of falls out and someone jumps in there, and it's hard to predict that. Some people did say watch out for Memphis just because of who they're missing, but man, 0-5.
All right, I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to ask the question. At some point, do we look at Memphis and you go, okay, Steven Adams is out for the year. They're missing Ja Morant. They had a great record without Ja.
Yeah.
And they played quite a bit without Steven Adams. Did we underestimate the effect Dylan Brooks had on that team? Is it fair to ask that? Because Marcus Smart's there.
You can ask it, but I would say no.
No?
I guess maybe I'm not a fan of him.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not a fan of it.
I'm not giving him credit.
He's
not going to do it.
Not going to do it?
No.
All right. Well, I will give Ryan credit. Good morning, Ryan, if he can give us the Jiffy Lube drive of the game. Ryan, what was it?
Good morning, Carmichael.
Good morning. Uh-oh. You're in I don't want to do this like the Aaron Burr mouth of peanut butter. I'm going to give you another shot because you're in a bad area, Ryan, and I want to give it to you. What was the Jiffy Lube drive of the game?
It was off night with the steal to the Kevin Huerter assist.
I don't think he's right, but I'm going to play the highlight anyways.
Kings got the Warriors in a penalty situation with about 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Now Sacramento is in jeopardy. Here's a ball broken up by Huerter. Grabbed by Davion. Leads it out to Huerter. Run to the rim. Twist. Scores with the left hand. Outstanding job that time by the Kings defense. Davion Mitchell triggering the fast break opportunity, and Kevin Huerter delivering the Jiffy Lube drive of the game. You're listening to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross tomorrow morning at 7:45 for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area.
Hey,
Ryan.
I was wrong.
Yeah, Ryan was right.
Ryan was right, and good for him. And to reward you, Ryan, you get a $100 gift certificate to Jiffy Lube. For more information, go to jiffylube.com. And Ryan, we appreciate you listening along, and it pays you get paid to listen to Gary Gerald. What could be better than that?
Not much. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Ryan, what local sports station makes all your Jiffy Lube dreams come true?
KHTK 1140, baby.
There you go. I would just want to say this one.
But technically, it's Sactown Sports. We got to teach them all the branding, but I love those.
Yeah,
I think we should just put a compilation together at the end of the year. And George and the rest of you on the line, I see already got a winner. Thank you so much, and we'll continue that for the. I believe we'll have one Monday for Saturday's game against Houston as well. So, and as always, thanks to Jiffy Lube. Meanwhile, the Pelicans.
You came back. You went up by 12 in the fourth quarter. That went away, but you never let them grab the lead, and you win it by the final of 110-106.
Yeah, it was 33-14 after one Thunder. That's a good road win for the Pelicans, who are now 3-1. They have won both their road games, and you got CJ McCollum with 29 points. And Zion Williamson, 20-10 with 8 assists.
Yeah, we mentioned yesterday there was only a few teams left undefeated, only a few teams left winless. Well, the Rockets finally got a win.
Yeah.
And then Denver, the champs, went down last night.
I know. And
Minnesota got them.
Is this the end of the road for the Nuggets?
Yeah. This is the start of the end.
Were you wrong about the Gobert trade?
Yeah, clearly.
Clearly wrong.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll ask Sam about that. We've got Kings questions for you. We'll put a bow on the stupid James Harden trade. And he asked a question last week in his article about the virtue of playing De'Aaron Fox after he twisted his ankle in that same game. We're going to talk to Sam about a lot of stuff for his weekly segment next.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Roulade with your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings lost a heartbreaker last night to the Warriors 102-101. Domantas Sabonis was the lead scorer with De'Aaron Fox out with a sprained ankle. He had 23 points to go along with 11 rebounds and 8 assists. The Kings are now going on the road. They will be in Houston on Saturday night when they take on the Rockets. You can listen to the game right here on Sactown Sports. Major League Baseball season came to an end yesterday when the Texas Rangers shut out the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-0 to win their first World Series. Rangers shortstop Corey Seager was named the World Series MVP and became the first player in Major League history to win a World Series MVP in both leagues. His first came in 2020 when he was a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
We welcome you back. Hour number 3 of the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Joining us right now from The Athletic. I got nothing. That's why I'm laughing. I got nothing other than to introduce our dear friend, somebody who is not only an award-winning journalist, but also apparently hates training staffs.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what
I
didn't. That's not coming from me, by the way.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
They do.
They did. Sam Amick. Good morning, Sam.
What are we talking about here? What training staffs do I hate?
The shot you took at the training staff for letting De'Aaron Fox go out in that game and just questioning the morals and motives of, win now.
I guess. Sure.
All right, let me clean it up. Sam asked a question in an article last week, and I'm having fun with him because the comment section was just a wasteland, shockingly. And it was just simply with the 65 game limits and all the money and accolades involved. Is there another side to it? You have the Joel Embiids that are like, I played 3 games, I'm tired. And then you have the De'Aaron Foxes of the world that are like, my ankle is shredded cheese right now, but I want to go back out there. And is there going to be a, more of that where you have to say, it's the 3rd game of the year, 2nd game of the year, 4th game of the year. Maybe we should chill and make sure these guys are okay later on down the road. Did I sum that up about right, Sam?
Yeah, I think my disclaimer is that I felt bad writing it. No offense, not toward the Kings training staff, because truthfully, if you talk about blame, I mean, De'Aaron's the one who chose to play. And it wasn't necessarily just about his choice to play, and it was impressive and amazing, and they won that game. But the part where I felt guilty was in the media and fans were guilty of complaining about guys resting, complaining about this has got to change. We need guys to be out there. And then when you put a rule in place like they did and like they have, I found myself reevaluating the logic of the rule. The idea that 17 games goes quickly if major if God forbid you actually get hurt. You know what I mean? Like, so a guy like De'Aaron Fox, I'm just going to be hypothetical because I'll be honest. I find his situation a little confusing. We were told moderate ankle sprain. That typically is like in the neighborhood of a grade 2, which is quite some time. And then next thing you know, they're talking about maybe only missing a week. So that admittedly, I think I told you this when we talked on the phone, Dave, it's never great to write a column when you're not sharing all of the undercurrent of what's inspiring your opinion. Because what I didn't fully share was that I would be fairly surprised to see De'Aaron back after just 3 games. Now, I could be wrong. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. But the premise of the piece is, okay, is a player like that, because he's doing the math in his head, saying, well, I probably should, and these are just speculative numbers, I probably should miss 8 games with this injury, but I'm going to miss 3 because 8 gets me, that much closer, almost halfway to 17. At which point, if I miss 18, I'm out. I can't be all NBA. I can't be in the MVP race, which, man, the first couple games, he looked like he could be in the race. So it was from De'Aaron and beyond. I just think it's going to create a different calculus for players and maybe not always the best decisions.
Yeah, Sam, on that, obviously this is something the league, coming from them, is very important to have players play as many games as possible. On the player side, I mean, look at Phoenix. I know there's guys that are injured, but we haven't seen that trio play a game yet together, and we're now 4 games in. What is the players' thought on the league's kind of, boundaries here of the 65 games?
Obviously, it varies, Jay. You can't, it's not a uniform opinion. Probably the loudest dissent, not surprisingly, is Kings fan favorite Draymond Green, who, and I'm paraphrasing, but he essentially was like, y'all are going to love this rule until you see a garbage player getting first team all NBA, because and I really could see that where you have really good players having 64 games logged, let's just pick some names, Giannis, Jokic, whatever. If they go down for a bit and you look at it and say, okay, fine, but man, he was amazing, but now he's not part of the awards, kind of cycle at all. I think there's some of that, but there's also understanding. I actually asked Klay Thompson about it recently. And that's a guy who, after his 2 years of being ravaged by injuries, had not played in back-to-backs and just missed a back-to-back the other day. Klay seemed to understand it from the league standpoint and the fan standpoint, and did feel like there was value in pushing guys to play. So by no means am I saying it's a complete miss as far as the rule. I'm mainly just kind of, preemptively previewing what I think is going to be some interesting situations throughout the course of the season.
I actually think it's well placed. I understand the rule, and I'm in favor of it in many cases, because this resting stuff is getting out of hand, and people are taking advantage of it and skirting the rules. But Sam, I think you're 100% right. Our MVP arguments in the past, going way back, was, well, Michael Jordan can't win it every year, so here's one for, Karl Malone or Hakeem or whatever. And then they developed into, well, Jokic can't win it every year. Here's one for Embiid. But maybe the MVP arguments of the future, and other awards, but the MVP arguments of the future are, dude, this guy's averaging 37 points, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds a game, and his team's the 1 seed, but he got his ankle stepped on and cracked, and he missed 21 games, and now he's not eligible for the award. That will be a major sports bar topic if and when it ever happens, and I think it's more likely it will at some point.
No, I agree. And it's going to be a mixed bag of results because guess what? Last night, the Lakers and Clippers had a fantastic overtime game, and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George played in a back-to-back. You know what I mean? So, that's the kind of stuff the league envisioned. I believe it was a back-to-back. I think that's accurate. And that's what they were hoping for. And I actually just read a piece on our website about the in-season tournament, which is within this same kind of category, where they're trying to inspire fans and players to be more excited about the regular season. So that's going to play a part. That obviously starts Friday. We'll see if teams move any differently as far as those games. I did laugh. I went to the Kings-Warriors game last night. Mike Brown was asked about the in-season tournament, and watching him just try to put on his best political face to say the right things about the tournament while essentially saying we're just trying to beat the Warriors tonight, and literally have not thought any farther than that. But you can tell that there's an internal memos flowing saying, please be excited about the in-season tournament.
Right.
And because he made a passing reference to and I shouldn't paraphrase.
No, go ahead. It's fine. No one's listening.
He might as well have been I hear there's a cup involved. I like cups.
Have they decided on what is it a ring? Is it a shirt? Is it a brooch? Is it just a stupid trophy?
It's a brooch, Dave. It's a
championship brooch.
It's a Katie Christensen brooch for Halloween costume.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe we'll get into it at some point. It's just the problem is that they're trying to take this world concept and they're not applying it to the world. We're in for example, in the English Premier League, we'll just use the easiest one. Excuse me, English Premier League.
You're an expert now. Let's hear it.
You got, yeah, that's true. You've got the top teams from the Premier League, and they're playing the top teams from the other European leagues. And there's your Champions League, the top ones from last year playing this year, and you get a European champion. Even the FA Cup, you've got Premier League teams playing Division I teams playing English League Championship teams. My point is you're seeing matchups that don't just go to how good is this team, but it also the leagues themselves have pride on the line. The countries have pride on the line, which is why we get into swimming and track and field once every 4 years because they put a gold medal around you. The NBA is taking this concept, but in my opinion, Sam, they're taking the most vital part of the concept, which is we already see Denver play the Kings. We already see Memphis play the Rockets or whatever the hell it is. This would have been, again, a great opportunity perhaps to, let's take this break and let's play the Euro League. Let's play the Spanish League. Let's play the whatever league. It just seems like they're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Listen, I don't have a lot of soccer insight, so I'm stealing this from Richard Sutcliffe. Had the piece on our website today that actually did educate me a bit. So the pushback that I'll steal from Richard is that, and tell me if I'm wrong, that the FA Cup in particular, in the later rounds, he made the point that the later rounds typically are just the elite teams, that while it's a wide open thing with all kinds of leagues earlier, later rounds are the elite teams. Although, my God, you talk about apples and oranges, 30 teams competing in this tournament for the NBA, allegedly 732, it was this, massive number of teams. Obviously not that many, but it does seem to be loosely tied to that. The other thing is because you don't have any history, and maybe it takes a couple years, maybe it catches on. People like Mike Brown are just, it doesn't land. You know what I mean? It doesn't inspire them. So we'll see. I think they will tweak it year over year. I believe it is a trophy, only stealing that from the commercial they put out, which was, I thought, pretty well done, the Ocean's 11 style.
Yes.
Everybody's got Draymond is protecting the trophy in the security guard outfit. So I get it, and we'll see. I'm, first world problems, but in December, I like to help with Christmas shopping and get ready for the holidays. Now I'm going to Vegas for a few days. Yes.
Vegas in the summer and now in the winter.
I know.
Have you taken one of the redheads with you yet on any of these NBA trips?
NBA trips.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like have you taken them on the road with you yet?
Locally last week.
They used to when they were little guys. It's a little tougher now.
Yeah.
Although, did you not to totally get too far afield? Did I share with you my youngest Halloween costume?
No.
Oh wow,
which you usually do. We usually do exchange Halloween photos. I have not seen this yet.
Perfect audience for the YouTubers. I'm going to try to pull it up here. So he is all about the Beam Team now, and he pushes back because somebody accused him of becoming a bandwagon Kings fan. And he's like, no, I just didn't really care about basketball, and now I do. So it's like a clean slate. So he's on the Kings now. His brother has been more of a Warriors fan, but years ago I bought him a Kevin Durant jersey, one of those special Bay Warriors jerseys.
Yeah.
And I'll describe it for the listening audience. This is the picture. He put his jersey on and made a sign for the back. Can you see that?
Let's see. Okay, I see. I see the. He's got
bandwagon.
He's got the Warriors jersey on and bandwagon on the back.
Great.
That is a phenomenal costume right there. Look at that. I'm going to set you up with a question, Sam, and I'm going to let you choose whether or not to answer it based on the conversation we had earlier this week that I'm going to try to bring on air. But I know I should be careful here. Are you going through the thing with your kids right now where, like, I don't know, have they ever talked trash back to you now or about your job?
What am I forgetting that we talked about off air?
We were talking about backpacks.
Oh, yes. That's right. Yeah, I mean,
I left it open. You don't have to grab that.
Yeah, no, I'm not going down that road. But he yeah, the younger one does.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's more hip to kind of the content world. He stumbled on our report the other day where Shams and I had the De'Aaron Fox intel. He does think it's funny. The G-rated version is that he thinks it's funny to tell me that I'm carrying Shams' water. Like, damn, bro.
Harsh.
Seriously.
Wow.
His son's a big fan of Shams.
I get it.
Yeah, you right too.
You do the same thing, kind of.
I've been here doing this, son.
Sam, you mentioned that you went last night to the game, Kings Warriors. What was your I don't know, what did you kind of learn from each side, maybe post game, or just some of your anecdotes that you got for seemingly Kings Warriors game 900 that these two teams have played against one another?
First of all, Jay, don't be so presumptuous. Post game would indicate that I was there for the entire game.
Oh,
great point.
I have gotten it. Listen, it's a long season. There's times when I go say hello to people pregame and learn a few things along the way and then watch some of the game. But it's a long drive down there. I had to get up and visit with you guys. I got a podcast coming up, so there's my excuse. So I left at halftime, although I had the game on in the car going home. There was a little bit of both teams joking about "Way, good to see you again. Been a while." There's a lot of that. I give the Kings credit for obviously playing really well, and I wasn't really surprised. Part of the reason I chose to go down and watch at least some of it was curiosity about the Kings side, but also did think that you can't kind of feel like you have a deep team and talk about your depth and talk about your talent. And then when a player like Fox goes down, act like it's a foregone conclusion that you're going to lose. Not that the Kings did that, but a lot of the Kings conversation leading into that game, from Dave was that.
Yeah.
But they balled out. Davion Mitchell, Davion, has played well as a starter in the past when he was filling in. Kevin Huerter, I don't know the final line, but I give Kevin credit. I think 9 boards, 10 boards.
Yeah, 9 boards.
They were competing and playing some defense. But my God, I mean, how many ways can the Warriors just absolutely rip their hearts out? And I'm watching the last possession. Naturally I had pulled over and was being safe. I would never look at the phone while I was driving. But the last possession, you're going, oh, okay, they got the ball out of Steph's hands. Like, man, I don't know if Steph's getting that ball back. Like, that mission accomplished, right? And then here comes Klay cutting across the lane and hitting the jumper. So, that part, I'm sure they were pretty frustrated post-game. But I think it bodes well for however long they play without De'Aaron. They should, now go forward knowing you can stack up some W's. I think they were 4-5 without him last season. And listen, in this West where it's going to be brutal from beginning to end, they just cannot afford to go on some 3, 4, 5 game losing streak, even with him out.
Well, hopping around the NBA real quick, Sam, you mentioned the West and how tough it is. We were just talking before you came on about the Grizzlies. Obviously, John Morant's out, but we've talked before that Grizzlies managed to have a pretty good record without Ja in the past. Steven Adams out. That's obviously huge. You swap Dylan Brooks for Marcus Smart, which I thought was and still do think it's a positive. It's early. What the hell is going on with Memphis?
Admittedly, I mean, I've looked at some of the numbers. I've seen what's happened. I haven't watched them with a scout's eye, but yeah, it's surprising. You know what I mean? Like they had been good without Ja. Even jokes aside, like listen, Dylan Brooks is a very divisive player for obvious reasons, but it's hard not to look at what has changed and say, man, all right. I mean, maybe it's the spirit, maybe it's I don't know what it is. I like the Marcus Smart move a lot. Change with new players often takes a little while. Maybe that's playing a part. Jaren Jackson has not been very good given kind of who he is. So it's a bad look. And I mean, if you, again, because the West is so tough, it's like the Lakers last year famously start, I think 2-10, something in that neighborhood, and they did survive. So it's possible, right? But you can't go down that road too far. And as far as, I mean, shoot, our guy, Kings fan favorite, John Hollinger and friend in college, who I love to death, does a great job. But, and we all missed the mark. But he had, at times, he had the Grizzlies win in the West, even with the Ja suspension.
Wow. So he could be wrong for a change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
To be determined.
To be determined.
Yeah. To be determined.
To be determined.
I mean, hold on. Since you're going to do your little victory lap, buddy.
What victory lap?
Yeah, he also, might have highlighted the Kings' incredible health last year. So how's that going for you?
Yeah, you tell your boy Hollinger, okay, incredible health, except our freaking MVP candidate had a broken hand all year, and De'Aaron Fox had a broken hand in the playoffs, and Keegan Murray missed. The whole narrative we had great health, which we did, no doubt about it. Sorry that we're healthy, but also filled with a team full of guys. Whereas Joel Embiid, walks a mile and he's got to rest for 4 games. And Domantas Sabonis his hand is falling off of his wrist, and he decides to play through it in what ended up being a contract year. I mean, I'm just saying there's nuance.
No, there is, for sure.
I wasn't that serious, by the way. You didn't have to give me a serious answer. He's probably right.
You can't beat up on athletic people, man. I'm loyal.
He's going to protect his guys.
That's right.
We know James Harden. I don't think it was your guy, but it finally happened, Sam. The trade is finally done. We've been waiting. Your thoughts on kind of how it ended and really what the Sixers got in return and what the Clippers are getting.
Yeah, I mean, finally happened. Obviously, we knew this is where he wanted to go basketball-wise. I'm very curious to see it unfold. I'm going to have a story tomorrow. One of those that's always kind of fun where it's scouts giving their anonymous perspective on this particular topic. Can James Harden fit in with the Clippers? Got opinions on both sides, and which I was happy about because it makes for a more interesting read. But, I think it also captured the reality of it, which is it's hard to handicap how it's going to look, whether it's going to work. You look at that Clippers game last night. Kawhi Leonard was Kawhi Leonard. Paul George was Paul George. Westbrook had a good game. They still lose in overtime. In a vacuum, small sample size, you kind of go, all right, I guess they could use a little more firepower. But the scouts, one of the guys that was cynical about the move or skeptical, talked about the Russell Westbrook, James Harden fit, and Russ, I think, is going to have to come off the bench, but that's not clear. If he doesn't, then how in the hell does that work? Because you got, 2 very ball dominant guys and then 2 other guys who actually have become pretty good playmakers, like literally 4 playmakers. There is a threshold where there's too many playmakers on the floor. So a lot of questions. James does supposedly sound as if he's, buying in from a sacrifice standpoint and, doing whatever they need to do for them to win the whole thing. That doesn't really reconcile very easily with some of the intel coming out of last summer when his desire to go to Houston, I had somebody tell me this, and this is kind of out there already, had been to get back to James Harden basketball where you average 30 and you are a scoring first point guard. That is not what the Clippers need. So, only James can speak for himself, and we'll see how he chooses to play. So for them, I think to be determined, Philly, it's all about the next step. I wrote this the other day. They're now well positioned to go get another star player. And they're also going to have a ton of cap room this summer. They got to make sure the big fella doesn't ask out himself. And so there's more work to do on the Philly side, but they actually look pretty good so far. So I think they're going to be competitive in the East.
Sam Amick with us. Last thing for you. It's no secret. I don't like James Harden's game. I'm very outspoken when it comes to James. But I do, as a thought exercise, Sam, I do try to be fair with everything. And I try to sometimes, especially when I feel really strongly about one thing, I try to look at the other way. So I'm going to, you play prosecutor and defense attorney in your head. I want to throw at you a thought I had last night that made me nauseous, but I want you to push back. Is it possible that in history's gaze, we're going to look back at James Harden as the Kurt Flood of our generation? Let me explain if you don't know who Kurt Flood is. Kurt Flood was the barrier breaker when it came to free agency and baseball. Is it possible that James is merely a victim of standards and history? And in the end, if you were to sit him down and he had a lie detector machine on him, he'd say, I've made this much money, which is a ton, and as NBA players, we are property. We are drafted, i.e. forced to go to a team. We are then traded, i.e. forced to go to a different team. These teams show us little to no loyalty whatsoever. And, oh, by the way, unlike you, Dave, or you, Jason, or you, Sam, if you go to work for a certain company and they change everything else around you, you don't have the ability to quit your job and go work at another place. Imagine that. Is it possible that James is simply bucking the trends and saying, I'm going to play where I want. I'm going to play where I'm comfortable. I'm going to do everything I can to make myself less a piece of property and more a businessman, a CEO in charge of his own empire here. And, oh, by the way, you can doubt me all you want, but I've made $500 million and I've gotten to play with some of the best players in the game. Is there a chance, a world that 20, 30 years from now, history is going to look back on this Harden situation differently?
I feel like you just answered your question with that last noise.
Okay.
I just don't see, in a vacuum, I already used that phrase, but you can argue that he is winning here, but I don't think there's any sort of virtuous takeaway that applies to other players, because other players are not typically going to be willing to go to the great lengths he had to go in order for these things to happen. And also along the way, if you talk about, I know it's a cliche word, but legacy, things of that nature, he did not actually accomplish very much basketball wise during a stretch in which he was very capable of being an elite player. So the truth is, you could make a fairly strong argument that if he had stayed put in Houston, rode it out a little longer, waited for the young bucks to come through in the draft, maybe it looks different, a little cleaner, and he's the king of Houston forever. Instead, it's messiness over a 3-year stretch in which we all kind of forgot how great the guy was at basketball.
He's trash. I completely agree. Thank you. Thank you for helping me out there. I forced myself to think that way, and I appreciate you pushing back. Sam Amick of The Athletic.
I will say this, kid. Sorry, quickly.
Oh, you're fine.
He can salvage it here. This Clippers thing, it can be a nice little something at the end. It really can. I'm just saying, it's if it ends with he got to LA and then he was up as a free agent and no one paid for him and the Clippers went out in the first round, that's it. If they win a championship, given the history of the Clippers, he'll get a lot of love for that.
Okay, I'll ask you the same question we bantered around here yesterday. Landon and Ryder's college funds are up for grabs. You have a chance to double them or lose them all, but you have to make the bet. I'm going to put the over-under this year at 31.5 games. that Russ and Paul and Kawhi and James play together. Excuse me, 21 and a half games is I think what it was. 21 and a half games that they all four play together this year. Are you going over or under with your kids' college fund?
I'll go over.
Okay.
Confidence.
Okay. Well, that is Sam Amick, who I think is just as good, by the way, as Shams Charania and the rest of the athletic staff and all of those folks over there that do such a wonderful job, including Matt Barrows, who joins us each and every Monday as well. Sam, we always appreciate you, brother. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Be good.
Okay, take care. That is Sam. We're late for a break. When we come back, 4 down territory, including football, as Week 9 opens tonight. We'll do that next. Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles, drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. Makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Cooler temperatures mean it's time to reduce your outdoor water use. Water 1 day per week on Saturday or Sunday from November 1st through February 29th. Learn more about your home's watering schedule at sacwaterwise.com.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at Fire Wings with some bullet points for you to remember so you can be a professional fire wing eater. Like Wings Day Wednesday, 88-cent wings each and every Wednesday. 3 flavor lineup includes 7 classic wing flavors, 7 dry rub wing flavors, 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
For 35 years, TruckSmart has been your local leader in truck accessories. Find racks, toolboxes, and lighting for your work truck, and trailer hitches, side steps, and bed covers for recreation. They have shells for work or play, and offer Rhino lining, the best bed protection in the business. You like overlanding? TruckSmart has rooftop tents, recovery gear, and heavy-duty bumpers. Trust your ride to their skilled installers and expert sales staff at the Rockland and Auburn locations. TruckSmart, your truck's gonna love them. Trucksmart.com. Trucksmart.com.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings lost a heartbreaker last night to the Warriors 102-101. Domantas Sabonis was the lead scorer with De'Aaron Fox out with a sprained ankle. He had 23 points to go along with 11 rebounds and 8 assists. The Kings are now going on the road. They will be in Houston on Saturday when they take on the Rockets. You can listen to Saturday's game right here on Sactown Sports. Major League Baseball season came to an end yesterday when the Texas Rangers shut out the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-0 to win their first World Series. Rangers shortstop Corey Seager was named the World Series MVP and became the first player in Major League history to win a World Series MVP in both leagues. His first came in 2020 when he was a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Before we get into 4-down territory, I want to thank Sam, and also there's new food happening this weekend at an NFL game, so I'm going to be on that like breaking news. Not a new food, but this is a limited edition item at a football game. I'm not going to say which because
this seems like a cash grab.
I'll let you guys guess. So this is at an NFL football game, a limited edition item, a full rack of St. Louis style ribs. And the rack is bent into a circle, like a crown, okay, of the ribs. It is stuffed with macaroni and cheese. And in the container, the custom container, it is filled with a very generous helping of kettle chips. So a full rack of St. Louis ribs stuffed in the center with a ton of mac and cheese and kettle chips surrounding it in a custom container. How much do you think this is going for? NFL football game.
Can you tell us where?
Nope, I can't. And you'll know why when I give you the answer, or I'll explain why I'm not.
Full rack of ribs.
Full rack of St. Louis style ribs, the big boys. Not the dinosaur ribs, but bigger baby backs. In kind of a ring. The rack is a ring. Macaroni and cheese. Custom container, and then kettle chips around like a moat, basically, is how I could describe it.
Well, it's either going to be, it's unique in the sense that it's much smaller than I thought.
Well, it's the
So the ribs make like a barrel.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I had like a, okay, got it.
I think it's actually not smaller. I don't know that it's huge, but it's I think it's one of those.
Well, based on the chips, it doesn't look like there's a ton.
Oh, I see. You're using the chips. Yeah, that's probably true, actually. Yeah, but it says it's a full rack of St. Louis style ribs.
Okay. Is it here?
It is not in Germany.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
That's a great guess.
Gotcha. No, so then I was like, it's either like way overpriced or like shockingly low. That's why.
If it's in Europe, it's shockingly low.
Yeah, okay. Right. Nope, this is in America.
Well, I'm just gonna throw out a number. It's going to be high if it's in America. It's unique, but $40.
$40.
Oh, I'm going to say 62.
My guess would have been, before I saw the price, it would have been 70.
Okay.
Honestly, it's $35. It's in Atlanta at the Falcons game.
What's terrible is like that's so expensive, but it's like, wow, that's a steal.
Right. Well, you go to the grocery store right now, full rack of ribs, depending on the day, could be $12, could be $18 before they're even cooked. And then you got all the markups and stuff like that.
I will say that Atlanta does a pretty good job of making their food pretty reasonable.
That's my thing. I follow Atlanta games purposely because it's subsidized. I did a deep dive on this one time where it's subsidized by Coca-Cola, the tax situation over there. At Falcons games, you get $2 refillable Coca-Colas and all the other sodas. $3 waffle fries, $5 Bud Lights, $2 waters, $2 popcorns, $3 pizza slices, $5 cheeseburgers, and $2 hot dogs.
That's great.
And when you think about it, it's kind of weird because Atlanta being in Georgia is also the home, Georgia, of the other, oh my God, how is it so cheap event ever, which is the Masters. So it's some sort of Georgia specific thing. I know the Masters financials are a little bit different than, and this was when Golden One Center opened. I sat down with Chris Granger and a bunch of other people. They were doing like some sort of fan feedback thing. And I said, could we get Atlanta style concessions? Like, could we get, like, whether it's you get a band and you get like all you can eat, but it's like all the crappy all you can eat stuff, hot dogs and popcorn. Or could we get, some places that have this cheap of food or somewhere in that capacity? I think people would love that. And the answer I got, right or wrong, the answer I got was, we're trying to lift the level of experience when it comes to food and cuisine and all that. You can tell it's very, very important to the Kings and Golden One Center, where they have local craft restaurants and beers and blah, blah, blah. Personally, I'm not going to a game to eat well. I'm going to a game to snack and watch the game. So give me the cheap food. But I remember putting it out on social media.
Yeah, because you can't find hot dogs anywhere at Golden One.
Oh, you can't or you can? No, right. I'm just saying, but the hot dogs there, $7. And my thing is, no, just screw that. I'm not going to a game to uplift my culinary experience. I'm going to a game to watch a damn game. Give me the cheap food. Surprisingly, a lot of people disagree with that. I got to be fair. A lot of people are like, no, I enjoy the amazing food out there.
Everybody's
God bless
different.
them. All right, 4 down territory right now. Christopher Ludd, please. Question uno.
First down.
Yeah, that too.
Titans and Steelers in Thursday Night Football. Who you got?
NBA League Pass. I'll watch it. You know what? Honestly, I don't have a dog in the fight, but give me the Titans. I want Will Levis to throw another 4 touchdowns. That's a fun story. I hope it continues.
Especially since I picked him up.
Oh, did you?
I had Cousins as my fantasy football.
Your reservations on this game. Yeah. I want you to remember July.
Yeah.
In June.
Oh, in
August when you're like Steelers Titans. I am not interested.
But we're in October now, Jason.
Where everything's going on. We're actually in November.
November, you're right. God, I gotta prioritize. I don't have enough time for all the sports on all of. You're exactly right. Come July, I'd be like, please.
I would take the Titans and Steelers any day.
When we are replaying the NFL season in real time and reporting on it again.
Right.
I think that's a great summertime idea for a segment. The NFL season, a look back.
Breaking down week 3.
Absolutely. Just go through the whole summer.
And try to react as it was live.
Oh, God.
Give me the Steelers. I'll take the Steelers.
What is I'm curious. Where is this game being played? Do we know? Is this in Pittsburgh?
Germany.
It's in Germany?
No.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh by 2.5.
It's in Pittsburgh. Jason, I'm sorry. Pittsburgh is favored by only 2.5. You nailed it. You nailed it. Well done.
Thanks.
That's a respectable job. That is a respectable job, Jason, you degenerate. Second down.
The Las Vegas Raiders are going with rookie Aiden O'Connell as their starting quarterback. Who has a brighter future in the NFL, O'Connell or Garoppolo?
I don't know that O'Connell has a bright future in the NFL. I just don't think Jimmy Garoppolo does. The whole Jimmy Garoppolo just wins no matter what narrative's kind of going out the window. It's not his fault. It's just you're as good as the ingredients surrounding you. And Jimmy is not on the Niners anymore. He's not on the Patriots anymore. He's on the anti-Patriots. So I'm going to say O'Connell, but I don't think he has a bright future. I just think he has a brighter one than Jimmy.
Yeah, I wonder what Jimmy's future even is. And he's not, I think he's a quarterback, and a lot of quarterbacks can probably have this stat, but I think he's a really good locker room guy, a good leader. Yeah. And if the ingredients are there, he'll be fine. Yeah. They're not in Vegas, and he's not elevating that team.
And he's a good guy, by all accounts. It's not like he's sending out, turn your mic off for a second, Chris. It's not like he's sending out spoilers and group chats about basketball game outcomes or anything. Yeah. He's a good dude.
Right.
Third down.
The Fox NFL pregame show is leading the pregame show ratings for 30 consecutive years. Which is your favorite NFL pregame show?
So what do we got? We got the ESPN one. We got the...
Do you watch any of them? I really don't.
Honestly...
I don't.
That's when the 8:30 game is.
If I'm being really honest, here's how I watch the pregame shows. I have the Red Zone TV that I have on, and then I mute it because it's just this dumb guitar riff for an hour. And then
you put it on early.
I'm setting it up, getting the coffee ready, making breakfast, and then the other TV, the pregame show is the show that it's the channel I'm already on because I know I'm going to watch that game.
Yeah.
I guess the Fox one's the best one. Is that the one with Howie and Bill Cowher and all that?
No.
Howie and
name the panel.
Kurt Menefee and Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
And Tony Dungy. No, that's Channel 3. I don't know who the other guy is. Richard Sherman. No, that's Amazon.
Terry Bradshaw.
Terry.
Michael Strahan.
Yeah. I mean, it's
30 years in a row they're winning the
great.
ratings. I don't watch it.
Remember when we all laughed like Fox is getting the NFL?
Yeah.
What is that?
No. I think I saw somewhere like Strahan's already been there like 15 years or 12 years or something crazy.
It seems like just yesterday Brett Favre was throwing him the sack title.
Exactly. I just don't want. I wait till 10. I can wait.
Yeah.
And then Red Zone, and if the Niners or Raiders are on.
Oh, it's George of the Jungle.
Do you?
Cartoons.
Yeah. Watch out for that tree.
Watch out for that tree. 4th down.
The Falcons are in first place of the NFC South at 4-4, but are making a QB change to start Taylor Heineke. Does this say more about the previous starter, Desmond Ridder, or the NFC South?
I think by the way, Arthur Smith is a dingle. I don't like him. I don't like that stupid mustache of his either.
Well, let's talk about their food prices.
Food prices are good.
Yeah.
I would have stuck with Ridder probably. Heineke is fine. It says more about the NFC South.
Yeah, 4-4. You can make a switch without an injury.
Yeah.
Feel good about it. You're first.
Yeah, you're in first place. Let's make a quarterback switch.
Yeah.
You know, this is the first time since 1971 that an NFL team has made a quarterback switch without it being for injury that went in first place.
I think you made that up.
I did.
Yeah.
But it sounds
it was 1970.
Oh, it was?
You were way off.
Man, the Buffalo briskets.
Yes, the briskets added up to hair.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we're late for a break here. Who's hot, who's not, and we'll recap 3 in the key. Don't go away. The show rolls on next.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
As a business owner, outfitting your van fleet with Mercedes Sprinter vans is just smart business. Mercedes Sprinters qualify for a remarkably generous IRS Section 179 tax deduction. This means you literally can save thousands in tax savings. Family-owned Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has a dedicated Mercedes van department with trained commercial vehicle experts ready to help you take on any job. See our selection of capable Mercedes vans at mbofstockton.com.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Ooh, vamping. Who is hot?
Oh, guys.
Chris Roulette, how does it feel to be back, by the way?
It feels good.
Yeah, you had a good little vacation there?
Nothing's better than California. Yeah.
You know, honestly, I read something about that yesterday with all the people leaving California.
Where are they going?
Yeah, they go and then they come back. You know, California has its issues. I'll be the first one to say it's got issues, but God, where else can you go to the beach and then take a drive and you're in the mountains and then, you know, you have Stockton?
Guess what? There's a lot of states with a lot of issues.
Yeah, that's a great point right there, too. Who's hot?
Will Smith.
Oh, yes.
Not
that Will Smith.
No, what? The whole thing with him and James Pinkett?
No. The pitcher for the Texas Rangers.
I gotcha.
All he does is win.
He won the World. I mean, how long has it been since we've had back-to-back World Series champions?
Long.
How long has it been since we've had a back-to-back World Series champion?
Forever.
Well, Will Smith became the first player in Major League Baseball to win 3 straight World Series with 3 different teams. The Rangers last night, the Astros in 2022, and the Braves in 2021.
I was going to say, Dave, you need to get him for your Giants, but he was a Giant.
I was going to say, like, at some point, does a team look at him this summer? And I mean, I don't know what his winter. I don't know what his contract situation is.
We need him.
Yeah, we need Will Smith. I had this weird memory. I could be off. Didn't Don Baylor do something like this at the end of his career?
Did he? I know he always got hit by pitches.
I know that's super random, but I want to say Don Baylor was on I think he was on 3 consecutive.
Really?
I could be wrong. He only won. Oh, I think he was on consecutive teams, but he only won.
That makes sense. The 86 Red Sox, the 87 Twins, and the
88 A's. But he only won the one in 87 with the Twins. But yeah, he was on.
Gotcha. Teams that were in the World Series.
Yeah, but did not. Yeah, what a loser. What else is hot? How about Bruce Bochy? The highest preseason odds to win the World Series over the last 20 years, 50-1. That was this year's Texas Rangers, managed by Bruce Bochy. The 2014 Giants, 4th least likely, managed by Bruce Bochy. The 2010 Giants, 25-1, 6th least likely, and the 9th least likely, the 2012 Giants at 20-1. Bruce Bochy has managed 4 of the top, 8, not 9, 8 least likely over the last 20 years teams to win the World Series. As my good friend Mal Allen used to say, how about that?
You guys were so close.
We were. I liked him. Who's not?
The Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, wow.
You guys were talking about them earlier. Yeah. They're the only team left in the NBA that has not won a game. They lost 133-109 last night, but hey, good news for them. They've got the Trailblazers coming up in the most important game of their season so far, the in-season tournament, starting Friday night.
Is that where they start turning it around? Jason Ross.
I mean, when you get into a tournament play, records don't matter.
They don't. Throw them out the window.
Yeah.
Jason, I'm going to put the over-under at 3.5 games that the Memphis Grizzlies will finish above 500. What are you taking?
Under.
You think they'll finish 500?
Yes.
Also, who is hot? The late Bobby Knight, because even after passing,
I almost made a terrible Nate joke.
I figured you almost did. I say he's hot because his takes will live forever. This is one of the greatest basketball takes of all time. This is before Mike Jordan, this guy out of North Carolina, had played a single NBA game. And Bob Knight, who coached him on the Olympic team, was asked about his style of play and basically where he'd take him.
The kid is just an absolutely great kid. If I were going to pick the 3 or 4 best athletes I've ever seen play basketball, he'd be one of them. I think he's the best athlete I've ever seen play basketball, bar none. If I were going to pick people with the best ability I'd ever seen play the game, he'd be one of them. If I were going to pick the best competitors that I'd ever seen play, he'd be one of them. So in the categories of competitiveness, ability, skill, and then athletic ability, he's the best athlete. He's one of the best competitors. He's one of the most skilled players. And that, to me, makes him the best basketball player that I've ever seen play. The kid is...
Got that one right.
Didn't even play an NBA game.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, to the best of my knowledge, Bobby also never he never coached Hakeem Olajuwon or Sam Bowie.
No.
Maybe
he coached Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah. Ooh, yes, he did. Isaiah was pretty good. By the way, back then it was Hakeem.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
And then he changed it to Hakeem.
Yeah.
Which I think was what it used to be. He was pretty good.
He was.
Hakeem Olajuwon
Dream
pretty
shake.
good. Yeah. We have a 3 in the Key to recap, by the way,
do.
as well from last night. Give us NBA music, would you please? And let's go back and live in the memory of last night's lameness. Not all lame. There's some not lame stuff happening. But it was.
Yeah.
From the 209, Patrick McCaw was a 3-time back-to-back-to-back champion in the NBA from 2017 to 2019.
Good for him.
I think the Warriors, right? Were 2 of those. All right, hey, back to you.
Back to you.
Hey, back to you.
All right, let's do this. Recapping yesterday's 3 in the Key, we had asked the all-important question of points for Steph Curry, the King Killer. He'd scored 50 and 41 the last 2 times they played. Dave, you said 37. I said 31. Christopher Laud said 25. Chris is the winner. Steph scored 21
pretty
points.
Close there, too. Well done, Christopher Laud.
We knew he was starting, so we asked the stat line of Davion Mitchell. Points, rebounds, assists. Dave, you said 11, 4, and 4. I said 14, 1, and 6. Chris said 9, 3, and 5. He ended with 13, 3, and 4. Dave, you're the winner on that. You only missed by 2 points and 1 rebound.
I think I got
it.
Me and Davion in lockstep.
Then our third category, we asked for a random stat, something weird, something odd, something different. Dave, you said Chris Paul would be involved in a double technical.
He should have been.
He should have.
Double technical
Both for him.
being a but.
Yeah. I said Kevin Huerter would make his first 3 3-pointers. He was 1 of 5, so I don't think that's accurate.
No, yeah.
And then Chris said Steph would miss over 8 3-pointers.
I believe I said 8 or over.
8 or over.
8 or over.
He missed 6. It's 4 10. Not bad.
I feel like Chris wins that one.
I think so. So
Right.
Chris got 2. Dave, you got 1. I was just
All right.
here.
Jason,
So I didn't
you
get fined.
DNP coaches.
Yeah. I have to run laps.
We'll take a break. Hey,
From Coach Melissa.
What we got? Coach Melissa. By the way, I don't want to get
You have a whistle.
I bought her when she announced that she was going to do the coaching thing for her birthday, late August. I bought
Great birthday present.
Those are the best.
Well, it wasn't the only thing I got her, but I got her a little referee's whistle
Yeah.
with it's called a Fox 40.
Wow.
It really is.
He also got our clipboard.
No, she already had one. That's how she grades us around the house. And I got her a little, the necklace thing, the whatever lanyard. Thank you. But I don't think she's used it yet. She hasn't brought it either. I think maybe she, the main coach has the whistle.
Okay. She a yeller?
No. No, but I imagine that her coaching style, which by the way, I have to tone it down about this, I guess. I got a text.
Okay.
I will say, so I have to keep the generalities now. I think her coaching style is going to be very similar
to Bobby Knight,
to the young lady in Police Academy.
Oh,
that's the whole hooks. Thank you. The whole time it's going to be, you should run on defense more and set the screen. But then once a game, she's going to blow her top and be like, set the screen. Just freak out.
Yeah.
So good luck. I support her.
That was generalities.
That was total generalities.
From what I got from that story, you do support her.
I do support her 100%. I do not think at all this is going to be a bad decision. I support her. And by the way, next year I will be coaching basketball.
Really?
Yes, NBA 2K. I'm going to do the player manager. No, I would never. No. God, no.
If you had to pick one, I'm trying to think, in like kid sports.
Okay.
Coach or referee?
Coach.
Not even thinking about it.
Not even thinking about it once. Nope. If there is one thing that has been reinforced to me in having children that play youth sports, it's that it should be a felony to verbally abuse a referee.
Would it make it better or worse if you took a coaching job and then Chris and I spent the season following you, and then we had our own show talking about your team and like the coaching and
Coach Dave really blew it last night with that timeout.
I'm right. Why did he call that? That made no sense. This guy thinks he can be coach of the year. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I have to do a little mini press.
I mean, like Frank gets mono, and this guy isn't prepared for that at all.
I know. You have to have a backup plan. There's no experience here for this guy.
Billy's out in center drawing pictures with a stick, and Dave doesn't remove him. That'd be great. I'd do the post-game show with you guys. You guys could take people write in their questions, like Alice in New Jersey. And I will say this too, by the way, this is something I learned. There is a local television personality, and you would all know the name, who secretly referees youth sports games totally undercover, like hat, glasses. I'm not making it
They
up.
know who it is.
They do?
I don't know.
Man, Sean Cunningham is doing everything.
I'll tell you off the air. But these guys get abused, man, by these stupid parents. I just want to kick them in the face. Not the refs, the parents. When we come back, Niners at 9. Let's look at the I know this is going to be easy. We're going to predict their record the rest of the way. Already did it. Check my pinned tweet. We'll get to that and more Niners stuff next.
Set the screen. Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted, ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner.
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone for the life of your garden. Not much went right for the red and gold in Week 8, losing their 3rd straight game of the season, 31-17. Cincinnati quarterback Joe Burrow was cooking early, throwing for 283 yards and 3 touchdowns. Running back Joe Mixon also got involved, going for 87 yards on the ground. His lone touchdown put the exclamation point on the visitors' victory, walking in from 5 yards out late in the 4th quarter. The 49ers entered their bye week at 5-3, dropping to 2nd in the NFC West.
With over 100 years as a family-owned company, EB Stone's learned a few things about making plants grow. Start a healthy family hobby with indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil to help your little plants grow into the perfect indoor plant for the kids and family to enjoy. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is perfectly blended with all the important ingredients you need to create that perfect indoor and outdoor plant or garden. EB Stone for the life of your garden. Visit ebstone.org for more gardening tips, products, and locations near you.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Allott with your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings lost a heartbreaker last night to the Warriors 102-101. Domantas Sabonis was the lead scorer with De'Aaron Fox out with a sprained ankle. He had 23 points to go along with 11 rebounds and 8 assists. The Kings are now going on the road. They will be in Houston on Saturday night when they take on the Rockets. You can listen to Saturday's game right here on Sactown Sports. Major League Baseball's season came to an end yesterday when the Texas Rangers shut out the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-0 to win their first World Series. Rangers shortstop Corey Seager was named the World Series MVP and became the first player in Major League history to win a World Series MVP in both leagues. His first came in 2020 when he was a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines, and now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Yeah. You can always text us if you wish at 916-339-1140. Here's one from Stefan. Might be Curry. Don't know. I'd like to entertain you guys with a question. Well, that's a big lead. What would basketball look like with hockey-style substitutions? I thought about this, actually. I really have put a lot of thought into this before. Because hockey-style substitutions, in case people aren't familiar, is you can substitute at any time where a guy comes on the floor and guy goes off the floor. While just imagine, they're dribbling down the floor, or even if they're in the, they pass the ball into the key and they sub somebody in and out. But obviously the guy leaving can't do anything with the ball, and the guy coming on, I think first off, it would be there would be a lot of mistakes made. But I also think the biggest disadvantage would be to the substituting team, because they're the ones that would effectively be a man down or 3 men down for a second. Well, you probably do that in the back court when you have the ball in the back court and you move, 2 forwards and a center out and bring in whoever. I'm not entirely convinced that it wouldn't be cool. I need to see it in a preseason game.
Yeah.
But imagine going offensive and defensive lines coming in and out. So you go on defense and hey, Sabonis comes out and JaVale runs in. Or you go back on offense, Fox is carrying the ball up the floor and pop Sabonis back in, maybe a couple of shooters. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced it wouldn't work, but I don't think it would.
Well, and they shuttle them in so often. It's rare to stay. They just keep going.
In hockey, you mean?
Yeah,
it's 3 minutes or whatever.
Maybe max.
Yeah.
That sounds like something that would have happened in jock jams, which also needs to come back.
I agree. Do we have any more jock jams? Does anyone? Are there
out of jams?
Are we in the last 10 years? I mean, All I Do Is Win is probably the DJ Khaled song. That's probably.
I'm thinking of the MTV.
Jock, Rock and Jock.
Rock and Jock. That's what I'm thinking of.
10-point shot or whatever they
weird
had.
because I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah.
No, now you got me thinking of the jock jams though. That was a thing in the 90s. I don't know that we have many jock jams now. That's the only one I could.
Maybe
think
you have
of.
it in Slam Ball.
That's a whole different Donahue right there.
Yeah, it is.
Slam Ball, but it's not Slam Ball at 9. Jason.
No, it's not.
Niners at 9. Jason, the 49ers have beefed up. Literally, they got themselves Chase Young. Everyone's getting healthy, you hope. And the bye week is this week, which means it's the toughest 2 weeks to talk about the Niners. But not really, because they're coming off 3 losses in a row. It's obviously a bad time, but I've never felt more optimistic about a football team that's lost 3 in a row. Part of that is the history of the Niners under Kyle Shanahan, what they generally do. Part of that is getting Chase Young and also knowing that there's going to be health. They play at the Jaguars.
And you had, by the way, this feeling of winning out before they got Chase Young. So
I did.
What happened here?
Well,
they're playing 3 of their worst games in a row.
Part of it is I'm trying out optimism. So I'm not going to say it's a fully toned.
But you went You could have gone, hey, I see them finishing, I don't know how many games are left, 9-2.
I said the Niners are not going to lose
not that many, but
another
you
game
went
this
all of
season.
the way.
And I need to see them against Jacksonville, obviously, but here's my thought process. What were they last year? They'd had those early losses. They were
they were 3-4.
3-4, right? They got blown away by Kansas City. And then they did not lose the rest of the season. And by the way, had you told me after that Kansas City game, oh, by the way, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be out after a couple more games and you have to go to the last pick in the draft, I wouldn't have thought they would win out anyways. But they did. They started out with a win over the Rams, then they got the bye, and then after the bye, they did not lose a single game. When you go back to 2021, they were what the hell were they? They were 2-4. They were 3-5 again. And then, they ended up 10-7. They ended up going 7-2 the rest of the season. I don't think this goes back to 2020. I think it was a little bit of 2020 sucked. They were 6-10. I think here's my thought process. Number one, they should be pretty close to fully healthy. And I think that's going to make them look a lot more like when they were 5-0. I just think Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel, especially Trent Williams, are so much more important than some, not all, but some are realizing, especially in Trent Williams' case. They're going to be able to run the ball to both sides again. Deebo's going to be that, I always say Swiss Army knife, I overuse it, but the guy that you can use him in the backfield. You can pass him the ball. There's so many things you can do with him. Obviously, you've got Kittle as a weapon, and then Ayuk's having a fantastic year again. But I also think that this 2 weeks after 3 losses in a row, this is a prideful defense that is filled with veterans that are leaders and are very, very violent. And I think they're going to have 2 weeks to look at tape. They're going to have 2 weeks to look at the fact that they haven't been terribly bad. The thing is, they gave up 19 and 22 points to Cleveland and Minnesota. It's the 31 to Cincinnati that really gets them. And I'm glad that was the last game before the bye. I think they're going to go into Jacksonville and they're just going to want to tear Trevor Lawrence's wig off and smash him into the ground. It's going to be like in the program where everyone got all juiced up and angry and just killed everyone on the line. And they'll have Tampa Bay. That's a home game that's very winnable.
The next 3.
So that's I tell you right now, those next 3 is really where it's going to be decided because they've got the Seattle sandwich with Philly in the middle, and obviously Philly's the one that I'm worried about the Seattle games. But
those are really important though for the division.
They're very important, and I think the Niners are a better team. I do, just like they were last year. I'm sure there'll be good games, but I think. For example, I don't think Seattle's as good as Dallas, and they annihilated Dallas. I think those are 2 games they will be favored in, again, assuming they don't lose these next 3. It's that game in Philadelphia, and I don't want to say the Niners are going to be more motivated for that game, but they're going back to Philadelphia, to the site of what happened last year, and I think for them, this is their Super Bowl before the Super Bowl.
Regular season Super Bowl.
Not that Philly's not going to be hyped up about this. I think the Niners are going to need this win more than Philly does for many reasons. I think they come out of that. If they win those 3 in the middle, I think they'll run the table. Arizona, home Baltimore will be a challenge. At Washington will be one of those. If they lose one, watch it turn out where they win everything and then lose to the Commanders in Washington, second to last game. And then LA. Would I bet money? Not without great odds that they're going to sweep the season, but I do think this is going to be a different 49er team after the bye.
Yeah, I think we all know what their potential is. We saw what they did at the beginning part of the season. Here's the other thing I would like to see them do is win a close game. Like the ones that they won the first 5, pretty comfortable, in control, deserved to win those games. They were the better team. The last couple of weeks, they've been involved in more key play type games where this mistake cost them the game. So I want to see them be in a close game and win here coming up soon because I think that'll be important for them.
Well, and it's also Kyle Shanahan needs to win some close games.
Yes.
Because there is a fun fact, and it's not so fun, I think, for Kyle Shanahan when it comes to close games. It's that if you have the lead on a Kyle Shanahan close game, a Kyle Shanahan team, you're almost certainly going to win that. I'm looking for the stat right now, but I think it is. What was it? When the Niners are losing by one, if the Niners are losing by any amount going into the fourth under Kyle Shanahan, I'm sorry, everybody, bear with. If a Kyle Shanahan team, coach team, is losing going into the fourth quarter by any amount, I think they're 1-31.
Oh my!
And if they're losing by 6 or more, they're like 0-20. So I know that the if they're losing by any amount, it's 1-30 something, and then if they're losing by 6 or more, it's like 0-18. Like combined, if the Niners are losing by 6 or more, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And when you think about that, you're talking about a sample size of 40, 50 games, whatever it may be. That's a narrative.
Yeah.
That's a narrative. That's a real deal thing. They need that. Not only do they need to win close games, Jason, but I think they need to win some comeback games.
Because Kyle Shanahan, when losing 3 or more points entering the fourth quarter, is 1-31.
There it is. Okay.
If he's trailing 8 or more points, he's 0-37.
Yeah. I mean,
so I think they're a really good front runner team. Like they build the lead, they get into what they want to do, they run the ball, they rely on their defense, and you can't catch them. But that's not the way it always works. You're going to be in some games, especially with teams like Philly or later in the postseason, teams that maybe get ahead of you on a mistake or two. You got to be able to come back.
You absolutely do. And obviously Kyle Shanahan doesn't want that narrative, but then you combine that with him being the offensive coordinator for the Falcons in the biggest Super Bowl comeback in history when the Patriots beat them. When you combine that with the lead they had in the fourth quarter over the Chiefs, the Niners, that is, and the Chiefs were able to come back, it does become a narrative when you add that into his lack of record in close games. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll go back to it one last time. The Warriors beat the Kings again. This time it wasn't Steph Curry. It still sucked. We'll talk about that next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yep, that trailer hitch and folding bed cover from Truck Smart makes road trips a breeze.
Right? I'm so much more organized on the job site since Truck Smart installed my truck rack and toolbox.
And they had it all in stock, so I just waited as they installed everything.
Take a look at this sweet Rhino truck lining. They sprayed it on.
Yeah, you win. That is sweet.
Truck Smart, truck and SUV accessories for on the road and the job site. Stop by one of our 2 locations in Rockland or Auburn. TruckSmart.com. Your truck's gonna love them.
bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
No beam lightings last night, unfortunately. Those darn Warriors. They did it again, Dave. 102-101. Did they play the whole game? Did they finish? They played 48 minutes?
Oh, because of the low score?
102-101. That's like a third quarter score for those two.
Take the under on that one.
Yeah.
Had a great day.
Yeah. Steve Kerr warned his team. He said, this is a trap game. They were on the road.
Man, screw him.
Screw him, exactly.
Trap game. That means they're like, oh, yeah, the Kings are a bad team, so don't go down to their level.
Yeah, we're not a trap game.
Yeah.
We're a game you get up for. Right?
Right.
Stupid him. Just, you just knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. You knew something would happen. You knew there'd be a dumb missed call by the ref. Not blaming the refs, just saying they missed a couple calls in the late in the game.
They missed Peyton just grabbing Keegan in the final play,
Yeah,
and just dragging him.
I think Kevin Herter broke his arm from the down swipe from whoever the hell that was on that layup.
Yeah, down swipe.
Down swipe. The hack at Keeg. We got some raw audio here real quick. Here's Michael Brown, hopefully not swearing, last night from the podium.
Do anything with Steph in the, I don't know how many games we played him, and we tried to double team him, we tried to single cover him, and he's kind of had his way. And Keegan's growing a lot on both ends of the floor, and I was like, hey, let's see if we can throw some length on him. And you're not going to stop a Hall of Famer like Steph. You just hope to make him work for it. And I thought Keegan tried to make him work for it.
I agree with Coach. I thought Keegan, the defense in general, I actually have numbers here from our good friend Jill Adge that she put out on the tweeters. But when you look at the teams that the Kings have started against, the Jazz, Warriors, Lakers, and Warriors, they are number 12, number 10, and number 14 in offensive rating. And the Kings right now in defensive rating are number 17. Now, that number 17 alone is a step up big time from where they were last year. But when you consider the fact that they have played 3 of the top 14 teams so far offensively, it's small victories and all that. It's early in the season, but you can tell that there's been a defensive intensity uptick.
You can see it. You can see it at home games. You can see it last night. I thought it was really apparent. I thought the effort, the energy, there's going to be breakdowns. There's going to be plays with the offense. Like at the end, I thought the defense was pretty good. If the goal is to keep it out of Steph's hands and to make someone else beat you, they did. And Klay's, very makeable shot, but I think they made everybody work. The one defensive sequence that I referenced in the postgame last night, Dave, was there were 3 possessions to end the game. Steph scored, Sabonis banked, then Klay's game winner. It was the Steph score. And to my knowledge, and I'm sure it happened other times, but it just stuck out to me. I believe maybe Malik had scored right before that, something like that. And Keegan, who had done a really good job on Steph, for whatever reason, and maybe it was by design, kind of attempted to pick up Steph full court. And he just got a simple backcourt screen, which Keegan ran into, and then Steph created separation and kind of went up court, and it just, the defense wasn't set. And I thought when they were in the half court and set, they did as good of a job as I've seen. And just, it was broken already.
Yes.
And then you've got a decision with a great ball handler and an incredible shooter, and he just kind of got into the lane, put up a floater that bounced in, and you're like, that was kind of broken defense that hadn't really been there a lot of the night. I didn't understand it.
I think it's safe to say, with apologies to the Suns and a few others, but I think the Warriors are the most intricately difficult team to play defense on.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily have all the best offensive players, but you combine the Currys and the Clays and all that with the fact that the schemes they run and the amount of running they do. I think they run more miles per game than anyone else. So the fact that the Kings are undefeated against the rest of the NBA this year, but have lost twice and lost by 1 on the road and lost a game where they had a double-digit lead at home at one point. I think they had at least one shot clock violation in the good way, defensive shot clock violation. The Kings did last night. And then, Jason, I counted maybe 3 or 4 times where the Kings played tremendous defense for 21 seconds.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then it was just a backdoor cut, something like that at the very end.
Yeah, there was a couple instances during the game where, and here's a testament to the Warriors and kind of your description of them offensively. I mean, look, they scored 102, so that's below their normal. They didn't shoot above 50%, but they still had 32 assists. That's in their DNA. That's what they do. And if the game plan, like Mike Brown said, take the ball out of Steph's hands, what was different in this matchup? Draymond was there, and I thought his interior passing was, I mean, as much as he's frustrating, he's incredible.
The late in the game interior pass, I forget who it was, and it was in between like 3 Kings. I still don't know how that ball got through the key.
Incredible. I know there was one where Kyle and Katie were saying, like, look at this defense, and they were right.
Yeah.
And there was like 2 seconds left,
And then,
back cut, Draymond finds, I forget who was on the baseline. And
Yes.
it was.
I remember
and
the exact
then it
play.
wasn't.
Yes.
Right? And you're just like, it's little, like you've got to be great for all 24, and this team makes you work. And it's frustrating because there are elements, like I said earlier, the blueprint, the elements that they took into the game were winning elements. They didn't win. And that's what stinks.
And now, Jason, as we move forward, they have Houston, Portland, and then home Oklahoma City. Well, let's push the Oklahoma City game aside because it seems fairly certain. Again, we put a little caveat in there that I still think it's depending. You know, Fox will be on the road trip. His jersey is being retired at his high school in Houston. He loves playing in Houston. It's their only visit there this year. There's a tiny little, like 5% of me that think, look, obviously it depends on if he's recovered or not, but we could see him there. Odds are we're not going to see him till a week from tomorrow against Oklahoma City. And, oh, by the way, Sam Amick put the little burr in our brain that maybe he's out a little bit longer. He doesn't know. But this is one of those, it's one thing to be tested against the Warriors. Okay, they won the test on the road again. Everything's a test. But this is a 3-game stretch that's incredibly important to me. I don't care if they don't have De'Aaron Fox. There is absolutely no excuse to lose to Houston or Portland. These are bad teams right now. I understand in the NBA, any given night, we saw the Spurs win the other night in Phoenix, steal the game from them. But this is a Sacramento Kings team that's still trying to improve things. There's no legitimate reason, barring something else happens during the games, for them to not come back 3-0 going into the Oklahoma City game and with a 5-2 record. And hopefully De'Aaron Fox back. I'm very curious to see, it's one thing to jack up your intensity when you're playing your biggest rival right now. Can you jack up that intensity on game 2 in Houston when you just blew them out by 30 in game 1? I hope so.
I think it's difficult.
It's difficult.
Human nature. Again, I say this when I try to put things in perspective. You as a fan, Dave, are going to a Kings game as a fan.
Yes.
And they're hosting the Warriors. Imagine yourself walking through the doors, Kings Warriors. Same 2 days later, you're going to a Kings game, Kings Blazers. You just feel different as a fan. You want to see the Kings win.
Yes, you do.
You're excited to be at a game.
Yes.
There's more to it for you walking through those doors because the Warriors are there.
That's
it's
right.
the same for the players. And that doesn't mean you can't win. You can't manufacture some of that. You can't be excited. I also think just the amount of intel they have on the Warriors allowed them to kind of change scheme, go like, look, we are going to do this to the Warriors last night because this is different. We played them so many times. What we've done before wasn't working. You kind of go into the Houston game with your first game plan. Now you play them twice in 3 days, which is unique. That doesn't always happen. But probably thinking, all right, Van Vliet and Brooks are new to this team, but those young kids are athletic. Like whatever the Kings' plan is, it's not as crafted as it was for the Warriors just because the amount of time they've seen them over the last, 5 months?
I understand and acknowledge your analogy when coming to fans, and you're 100% right. I'm more jacked for this game than that game. But isn't there something to be said that if you truly want to be an elite team, if you truly want to be a championship team, you're the one getting paid a ton of money to play in these games. You can't have that mentality. You can't. The elite teams take care of business.
They do, but let's give the Kings 50 wins this year. So it's 32 losses. They're not all to the Warriors in Milwaukee.
That's true.
There'll be hey, what happened that night in Charlotte? I don't know. It happened.
At best, they're going to have 5
At
plus
least.
losses to some crap hole
That
team.
will be on the next day going, you can't lose. You do.
That's right.
Denver last year won the whole thing. We could go through their schedule.
Sure.
Why did they lose to Detroit by 12?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're right.
They did. So it's tough to predict that ahead of time, but what you're saying is correct. I mean, I believe to their core, they're the better team than those teams. Like Portland right now has 2 wins. So do the Kings. I don't think Portland's very good, but they have 2 wins.
I think if they lose to anybody outside of Phoenix, Golden State, Milwaukee, or Boston the rest of the year, it's a failure.
Well, then get ready for a lot of those.
I don't want to deal with any of that. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's go streaking.
Recap it.
Final one. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
See how we did.
there. Got a little lumpy in the throaty. And what to watch tonight? We got football. We've got basketball, but no baseball.
No.
It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll recap all that and preview all that next.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is the best place to go all in and all out. Go all in at our table games, then go all out to win on the area's only 3-story indoor kart track. Or go all in for our famous award-winning buffet. Then go all out at our state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and beautiful resort hotel, you can go all in for fun and all out for comfort. We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
As a roofer, I don't have time to fail. Homeowners rely on me, so I rely on Beacon. Beacon's unique network of branches work together to get me what I need when I need it. Every branch working together. And with the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like Certainty Landmark Pro, right at my fingertips. And now through November, purchase Certainty with Beacon Pro Plus, web or app, and earn up to $750. Beacon, always building.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I had terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville.
Are you ready to go back to the summer of '99? Creed is back. Summer of '99 tour. For the first time in more than a decade with very special guests. 3 Doors Down. Plus Finger 11. September 1st, Toyota Amphitheater. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com. As part of the Hard Rock Sacramento Concert Series.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings lost a heartbreaker last night to the Warriors, 102-101. Domantas Sabonis was the lead scorer with De'Aaron Fox out with a sprained ankle. He had 23 points to go along with 11 rebounds and 8 assists. Kings are now going on the road. They will be in Houston on Saturday when they take on the Rockets. You can listen to Saturday's game right here on Sactown Sports. Major League Baseball season came to an end yesterday when the Texas Rangers shut out the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-0 to win their first World Series. Rangers shortstop Corey Seager was named the World Series MVP and became the first player in Major League history to win a World Series MVP in both leagues. His first came in 2020 when he was a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
We're streaking!
This is where I become a little bit of a fan. I'm texting with my guy right now during the break. And congratulations again to Brian Knight, Lincoln's Brian Knight, who was behind the plate last night. His first ever World Series call as an umpire after being in there for 20 years.
Yeah.
And
but he's in the perfect spot too, by the way. He's going to be on the video forever.
The
last out in Rangers World Series history.
People will talk about it for decades.
Decades.
Chris. He's right.
And he got to be behind the plate for the deciding Game 5. And how cool is that? So we're trying to get a golf date here. He's coming back, and but you know, if you were watching the game, this is just the life of an umpire and just how cool. Like, Brian's such a gamer, dude. He's such a good dude. If you watched, I think it was the second to last batter. It was a foul tip straight back off the mask, and you hear ooh. And that was Brian from the impact, and the catcher even turns immediately around. It's like, hey, dude, are you okay? Like, it sounded bad. And Brian kind of, tapped, pounded the catcher's chest, like, thanks, brother. I'm good. And he stayed in the game. Imagine, because this is how it turned out. Imagine calling the final strike of a deciding World Series game, your first ever, and as it turns out, with a concussion. Wow. Yeah, he's got a concussion, made it through, just didn't even blink. Well, I mean, he obviously blinked. Went through, calls that game.
Now he's in protocol.
Now he is 100% in protocol.
Can't umpire tonight.
Thank good there isn't. I imagine that's probably, I don't know, I got to ask him if that's preventing him from flying home, or if he maybe
should
right?
umpires be umpiring games with a concussion?
No, it was the second to last hitter.
Yeah, but
even then,
like a quarterback would get hit and get evaluated. Like that, should they have been evaluated?
You don't know. I want to. I mean, obviously, you want to be like, oh, the training set, but he didn't. I don't think he knew. You're
a
in
lot
the
of
moment.
Times people don't know, right?
Adrenaline. Yeah, that's true. But I'm not sitting here saying people should play through all of that. But set the screen. It's funny, and because the second to last pitch, which was a ball, was pretty. I mean, it was a ball, but it was low and inside. It was just out of the bottom, but it swept over the plate a little bit. Could have just been like, I need to get out of here. Mm-hmm. But then the next one was a clear strike. But that what a thrill. I'm so damn happy for him. So that's super awesome. Streaking recap, final time. Streaking will come to an end after this baseball season is over. Dave, you were at 1. I was.
I believe, yeah. And
Like
you were
to
trying to
finish
get
at 2
to end the season, and you picked the guy who's gotten a hit in every postseason.
Everyone.
Tell Marte.
Of course I'm going to get a hit here.
Of course, because the Diamondbacks, though they didn't score, had 5 hits. Your guy, Ketel Marte, had 3 walks, so 2 official plate appearances, only 2 chances at a hit, and no hit.
The one game.
Oh, you suck.
The whole time. The one game. Over.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What better way
to put a cap on the season?
By the way, it should be noted, too, even though it was in the laws, that Gallen had a no-no
He
going
did.
into the 7th inning. The Rangers end up winning 5-0, but he had a no-no.
Yeah.
They got hot.
They got a lot of hits the last 3 innings.
Mhm.
Both Chris and I took Marcus Semien.
Mm-hmm.
I was on a 3-game hitting streak. Chris was on a 1-game hitting streak, trying to get to 4 and to 2, respectively.
Well, and now that's a respectable job.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole game.
Yeah.
But can I cut in here real quick? I'm sorry. I want to play a baseball highlight.
Let's do it.
Is that okay?
The 0-1. Semien lines one deep to left center field. That ball is way back, and that ball is history. A 2-run homer for Marcus Semien. It's 5-0 Rangers in the 9th. A blistering line drive that never came down in left center field. Marcus with 5 RBIs yesterday, 1 the day before. Coming alive for the Rangers at just the right time.
If it never comes down, is it a hit?
It could still be caught.
Yeah, it's true.
When I was a little kid, I used to wonder if it would be legal if they could make like the catcher's mitt, but then have the mitt go over the whole entire field. Before I realized there were like rules for, like, hey, you know what they could do?
Is that like getting a sumo wrestler as a hockey player?
It's exactly the same. Put the sumo guy in the
Where would
goalie.
they keep that big glove?
You'd have to like roll it up and store it like the rain tarp. But then you just
The one guy that thought of it. Ha ha!
There's like 9 no-hitters in a row.
You're out.
The rules. Yeah, you're all out. You basically have to hit a home run.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
get hit by a pitcher or walk.
Semien did that.
He did.
Chris, and they got another hit too.
Yeah.
So we both got hits.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
wonderful.
it wasn't bad.
It was fine.
There you go. Streaking is over.
You
Hey.
Oh, the whole.
Oh,
God.
It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna make a spring training pick tomorrow.
Yeah. Should we move to isn't the KBL going, the Korean League?
Yes.
Maybe Mexican winter baseball,
That
Mexican
too.
League?
Mhm.
Yeah. We'll just go through there. Dwayne would like me to try to get Scott Stapp to sing the anthem at the Kings game. A couple things there. First off, we played a little bit of Scott Stapp. Now, if you guys on the chat, let me know. If you guys on the chat would like me to, and Chris, to call back up Scott Stapp's, I think it was the Ford 500 he sang at.
400.
400. Oh, the Ford 400.
Yeah, it wasn't the big one.
And then the other one, if you guys want to hear that again, just let us know in the chat because I know people enjoyed that yesterday. Also, the idea that I have a direct line to Scott Stapp, which I should.
It was very believable.
Since we're giving away tickets, can we get, oh my God, can we get a Scott Stapp interview?
Interview. He needs to be in for the show. He needs
Have
to
him
get
come
3 in the
in.
fee.
Yes. It's probably a,
Yeah, he's gonna be in Wheatland.
yeah, he's going to be in Wheatland.
That's the light the beam.
I think one thing I would tell him though would be like, hey, can you guys don't do the thing where you're like, how we doing Wheatland? Like, that's like when they play at someone plays at Thunder Valley. Hey, Lincoln. It's Sacramento. Just say Sacramento. No?
No.
Well, what is it?
Because that's not Sacramento.
It's not.
Lincoln isn't Sacramento.
But it's I mean, you're getting some Yuba cities and Marysville.
I will accept, like, hey, is anyone here from Sacramento?
But who claims Wheatland? It's not the Bay Area. It's not Tahoe. It's us. That's our outdoor venue for now.
I don't claim Wheatland.
I'm not saying I want to claim Wheatland.
Aren't the 49ers from there? San Francisco.
The Wheatland Niners.
Yeah.
God, come on, Kevin. We need that. We need that stadium. We need that. We need to just, no offense to Wheatland, but come on. We need to knock that off.
A little offense.
Yeah, I think Wheatland's taking this personally.
Just you drive all the way up there. It's just such a
beautiful drive.
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Have you ever explored, like, there's a lot to do in Wheatland.
There is. All the things.
There's
got to be top 10 restaurants.
You know what?
Places to go.
Barry's gas station.
Oh yeah.
On 5th
Mm-hmm.
is amazing.
I've been to a bar in Wheatland.
Wheatland
It's
is a Wikipedia
exactly
page?
what you would think it would look like inside.
People in the bathroom brushing their tooth, everyone drinking, having a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, screw you, Wheatland. They've got Tower Theater as one of the things to do in Wheatland, California.
Where's Tower Theater's here, right?
Yeah.
What? Oh, come on.
See, Wheatland claims Sacramento.
Notable people in Wheatland: Ann Getty, H. Monroe Brown, and Connie Redbird Pinkerman Urey. Okay. By the way, did you know the Wheatland Hop Riot was a violent confrontation during a strike of agricultural workers demanding decent working conditions at the Durst Ranch on August 3rd, 1913? 4 deaths and numerous injuries. That's like what it's known for.
Yeah, the riot.
The Wheatland Hop Riot, which, by the way, also sounds like a EDM tour. Like, come to the Hop Riot, hang out with
Creed.
Oh, I think that's more like a ska. Ska band.
We'll take a break. When we come back, crosstalk with Styles.
Wheatland Hop Riot.
How did that not get you? You were drinking water too. I expected a spit take. And also, I want I got to talk to. I never do this, but I'm actually going to call Kyle Ledbetter in the studio during the break briefly. I'll report to you why when we get back right here at Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
iPhone 15 Pro on Verizon.
This holiday, trade in any iPhone in any condition for the new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium, Apple TV 4K, and 6 months of Apple One. All on us with Unlimited Ultimate. Go to your local Verizon store now. 6 months of Apple One, then $10 per month. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line on Unlimited Ultimate plan required. Less $1,000 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR. Apple TV 4K and Apple One offers require eligible phone purchase with activation on Unlimited Ultimate. Additional terms and conditions apply. Visit Verizon.com for details.
O'Reilly. Protect your engine better with Syntec full synthetic high mileage motor oil. Only at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec high mileage is formulated for today's engines with over 75,000 miles. Now get 5 quarts of Syntec high mileage and a MicroGuard Select oil filter for just $34.99. Limits apply. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because only the Sleep Number Climate 360 smart bed lets you each sleep up to 13 degrees cooler or warmer on either side, while you both sleep at your ideal level of firmness, comfort, and support, your Sleep Number setting. And now our all-new next-gen smart beds have temperature benefits, so you sleep better night after night. And now the new Queen Sleep Number C2 smart bed is only $899. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easier with American Energy Heat and Air's online quoting tool. All you have to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote right now. It'll help you determine what system you're going to need to get. It'll provide the best pricing options, all from the comfort of your home without having to have somebody come to your home. You know how annoying that is? They come in and, and everybody there is so sweet and nice, but how much better is it to be able to get it on demand? Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your needs are, 916-520-9990. That's 916 520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
I started it this time. Yeah, but we're all doing it now. Except Alan.
I clapped.
Did you clap? Oh, I must have missed
It's actually the first time I clapped.
Did you? Well, welcome. Now you're part of the family.
Yeah.
Alan, I say this because I'm probably known on any list of biggest Kings homers. I got to be near there, and I see the conversation that comes your way sometimes. You're a Bay Area guy. You probably see it. How did it go for you yesterday? Did you find? I mean, real talk. You work. You're here. You work
right
in the area. And you've got your connections and your heart and soul. But then now, this is your new family.
Yeah.
Was it like a weird thing for you yesterday?
Yeah. It was really weird on Friday being in the building and on social media. I don't know if you've ever seen that Adrian Broner clip where he's just saying, I'm getting cooked because I'm getting cooked on Twitter, man. But it's all in good fun, and I'm repping the Kings right now, and that's what it is. So if anybody has a problem with it, I enjoy it. It's all fun and games, and I love the banter. But yeah, they're on my head. They are on my head because it is what it is.
Because we're incredibly xenophobic and have a horrible complex about ourselves. Yes.
It's more the Warrior fans saying, how do you like it? How do you like it now? Being on that side, I'm like, all right. I mean, sure, whatever.
That one's easier to explain because I saw the documentary on it too. It's well noted that Warrior fans are terrible people. Just as a whole.
Is there a documentary on it?
Oh, there is.
Dave's documentary.
It's in post-production right now.
Okay.
Warrior fans are horrible.
Not great.
Little lames.
Yeah.
Whereas we up here, we're like
civilized.
We're like the dog that's been kicked a bunch of times. We're like in the corner, just always shaking and waiting for the other boot to hit our face like it did last night.
And hopefully we get that video of us turning the corner and like, oh, it's a real dog again.
That's exactly right. The road back. Yeah, that's the next documentary.
I'll tell you what. Last night was probably my initiation because I wanted that one bad, and I found myself. I mean, Friday was weird because it was weirdly not. The Kings had a lead, and then it kind of just got out of hand, and Steph is doing stuff. Yesterday was there for the taking, and I wanted it bad for Sacramento. Bad.
Absolutely.
And this is why me and Chris are going to get into our first fight.
This guy's going to try and polarize himself early.
I'll add a point on that I'm sure you know, but since it's just us here. The better the Kings do, the better the ratings are.
That's what I hear.
The more we get paid. So
yeah.
Not really the more we get paid, I guess.
Well, maybe technically.
Yeah.
Not directly.
The job's easier. The job's easier when the Kings are winning.
Yeah.
Definitely. The show's kind of
success makes things better.
Yeah. You got more people on watching. You got more people listening. Yeah. When the Kings suck, you can only do so much of that. And then apathy sets in. There's no apathy yet. There's just expectations.
Right. But it also can be about just being in the mix too, right? It's about drama, right? I know like Browns fans are always thinking that, they're important and they care, and it doesn't really make any sense to me.
Wait, were you comparing us to Browns fans?
No, I'm saying in general.
Yeah,
in general. Look, I already got the one. I don't need the Kings fans on my bad side too.
Today is National Ohio Day.
Cleveland.
That's Cleveland.
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
You were just there.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing about Ohio other than the flight back?
It was Kentucky.
The favorite thing about Ohio was Kentucky. This one I find a little offensive. The first Thursday in November is apparently National Men Make Dinner Day. I made dinner last night. I'll make dinner again tonight, and I make dinner most of the time. What are you trying to say here?
I'm surprised that one's still hanging on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's I think it's offensive to both sides. Yeah. It's offensive to women that the expectation is they make dinner all the time. It's offensive to guys like me, and maybe perhaps you guys, I'm sure.
I get down.
We make dinner. That's in the past.
Yeah.
Let's move on from that. Today is National Broadcast Traffic's Professionals Day. What the hell is that? And
Traffic on the 8s.
Yeah. Careful on the 80.
I'm excited about this one. National Deviled Egg Day.
Oh.
No?
I'm excited.
I am
no?
excited.
I'm out.
Yeah, you're not a deviled egg guy?
No.
What?
Do I look like a deviled egg guy?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. What do I do?
Careful. That, my friends, is a setup.
Gotcha.
You have to have temperature. I love deviled eggs. I do. No, but you know
Do I
this.
look
Some
like
of
a
your
deviled
best
egg
friends
guy?
are deviled eggs.
Somebody. That's really well done. One of my best friends, I have family that's deviled eggs.
Yeah, right.
I don't like eggs generally as a rule. I hate egg salad.
I'm here with you.
If I have eggs, it has to be scrambled eggs, and I have to put cheese and a bunch of crap on it. Because eggs, in effect, are fetuses that we're consuming, and they smell like farts. Let's just be honest about eggs. That's what they are. But deviled eggs are all of that, of course. But for some reason, you can add enough stuff to them, and they just taste great.
Yeah, I can't believe you don't like egg salad, but you like deviled eggs. It's the
My
same
wife
thing.
says the same thing. Have you ever sat next to somebody eating egg salad? It's like sitting next to my dog after I switched dog foods. Like, it just doesn't smell
Just
fun.
like it.
It's like, don't bring egg salad to work.
Don't. What are deviled eggs? What are you talking about?
But here's the thing. This is true. The making of deviled eggs smells gross, but then the deviled eggs just laid out, they don't give off a smell, and they're one biters. You just pop them right in. There's no smell leaking. Try sitting next to somebody making an egg salad sandwich. It's like microwaving salmon or broccoli. It's gross. Yeah.
Okay.
But I love them.
Clearly.
They put a little bacon on top.
Yeah.
Maybe a jalapeno.
You're just deadening the egg part.
I'm covering it up. Yes. And you mix it all up with the mustard and the mayonnaise and maybe a little Dijon.
Mustard.
Yeah, pickle. Yeah, you put the mayo and a little bit of Dijon in there. Maybe some horseradish. You ever had horseradish?
I don't like
Those are
your
very
deviled
strong
eggs.
flavors.
They are. Wasabi eggs.
Oh my God.
No, you put a little pickled wasabi on top of the little the thingy.
You know what I've done that somebody told me about is you soak, probably not good for my blood pressure, but you soak a hard-boiled egg in soy sauce for like a night. And you eat it the next day. It's very good.
Like obviously a peeled one, right?
Yes.
No. I no dumb question. I knew when I asked, but that sounds great.
Yeah, it's pretty
also
good.
probably looks gross when it's done.
Definitely.
It's just all
Brown,
and beige.
It's good though.
I'm gonna try that tonight. We got a couple of hard-boiled eggs at the house right now. I think I might put one in some. What do you do with? Can you still use the leftover soy sauce?
Yeah, I wouldn't, but it's your journey.
Okay. Celebrity Birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Soon to come from Crumble Cookies, a deviled egg version. Probably be good.
You ever sat next to someone that had a soy deviled egg?
No,
Neither.
but today's the day. I'm gonna make 3, and I'm gonna get a review from the kids when they get home from school.
Sure, they'll review it.
Deviled eggs also are paying off the next day too.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? Family and friends love birthdays. Nothing brings family and friends together. That's not the read. Better than Crumble Cookies.
You get a new read?
Yeah, I made it up. Go ahead. Jeez.
Happy birthday to Nelly.
Give me a break.
Not Nell Carter.
From I don't know any more Nellies.
Come on,
Don Nelson.
Furtado. Oh, yeah,
Furtado.
Don Nelson. Furtado. Oh, you know now we're doing Mount Nelly more. Okay, so Nelly, Don Nelson, Nelly Furtado,
Matthew Nelly Atova.
Yeah.
Nelly Patrick Harris.
Yes. Nelly Brothers joined us earlier in the show.
Oh.
Nelly's the guy. Nelly is getting hot in here. EI.
Yes, there you go. We got
all
that.
right.
I think it's hot in her.
Her. I apologize. St. Louis.
Air Force One.
Nelly's actually 52.
No, he's 47.
Oh.
This guy.
No, he's actually 56.
50.
No, he's
What?
50 on the dot.
50 on the dot. Christopher Live with the win. 49.
49. Nelly.
Happy birthday to America's quarterback. He's really not. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh,
Now a bench player.
poor guy.
Jimmy's
So
31.
handsome.
He is handsome.
You see, the Raiders did post happy birthday to Jimmy.
Did they?
On
Yeah.
Twitter,
Happy birthday. You're on the bench.
Yeah.
Loser.
Jimmy is said 31.
Yeah.
33.
I'll say 32.
You 30 as well, or
No,
32?
30.
Okay, 34.
All right, we have a correct answer.
Yeah.
It's one of the 4. It is Chris Watkins.
Chris Watkins.
You know, I wanted to say 32, but
Yeah.
Carmichael Dave got on me for Price is Writing yesterday, so I did it.
That's just head games. Don't buy into them. Just you say what you want.
Happy birthday, another quarterback,
No
Jordan
fronts
Love.
Jordan Love. No, he's
No,
not 30. Stupid. I say 26.
Oh my goodness. 27.
Yeah. Ah, come on, Alan.
Say 25.
28.
We've got a correct answer.
Yeah.
Has to be.
It is Chris Watkins.
You're dominating.
Losers.
What's coming up on the show today?
Having Brendan Nunez on at 11:15. Having Kevin Dana on of the Santa Cruz Warriors on at what is that? 12:45.
12:45, and Chris and I are fighting.
Yes,
Okay.
and we're fighting as well.
All of that coming up next. For everybody, thank you so much. Love you. Light the beam. Bye now. I left it open. You don't have to grab that.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers.